Hello guys, welcome back to Hari Academy. This is your faculty Sudarshan. This is going to be a CA Foundation complete formula revision for statistics topic. Here we are not doing sampling part alone, and except that remaining all the chapters we are covering for statistics I am expecting to cover within a matter of 1 to 1.5 hour or maximum up to a mark of 2 hours. At the end of the session, we will do time value of money. That is, previously it is mathematics. Previously it was time value of money. Now it is mathematics for finance. That part we are doing right now at the end of the session after completion of a statistics, because that time value of money or mathematics for finance part alone will come for somewhere around minimum 10 marks, maximum 14 marks. So it is nearly half of your pass mark. So we are going to do that session also. We'll quickly start with our session. First one is statistical description of data. The statistical description of data, the first part is regarding those definitions. Basically, definitions is divided into two parts. One is plural sense and the next one is singular sense. Plural sense means it is an aggregate of facts, it is a data. Then if it is a singular sense means it is a scientific method, or it is a science of counting, or it is a science of averages. Next, limitations of a statistics. Limitations of statistics is basically what are the disadvantages, what are the limitations we are having. It deals only with the aggregates because most concerned it is with quantitative data. Qualitative data we will not cover in our statistics part. Then statistical laws are not exact, then liable to be misused. The misuse of data can be possible if it is a secondary data. Then results are true on average sense only. It is based on averages, it's not based on the all data. Then what is a few terms? First one, the basic meaning of that words, that is data. What is meant by data? Observation expressed in numerical figures is known as data. Second one, population. Totality of the set of object. In an entire objective, the total is known as population. What is meant by a sample? Number of individual, each of which the member of a population, each and every participant of the member which you are able to pick it, that is known as a sample. Then what is meant by characteristics? Characteristics is nothing but a quality possessed by an individual. For example, height, age, nationality, this and all comes under the part of characteristics. Next, what is meant by variables or variate? Variables or variate is nothing but a numerical and measurable. It means quantitative. In quantitative variables, we are divided into two. One is continuous variable and another one is discrete variable. This may be helpful for your theory preparation. Continuous variables are real decimals. Example, height, weight, sale, profit, age. This one is age. This and all comes as a continuous variable. Then what and all discrete variable? Discrete variables are whole numbers. Let's say annual income, marks of a student, number of petals in a flower, number of misprints in a book, number of road accidents, number of members in the family. This and all comes as a discrete variable as a whole number. Then come to attributes part. This attributes is known as non-numerical data and non-measurable. It is known as qualitative. Attributes means qualitative, non-numericals, non-measurable. We can say gender of a baby, nationality, mother tongue, color of a flower, marriage status, everything will comes under that part. Next, will come with collection of data. What is collection of data? Collection of data is basically primary data which we are collecting. Under the collection of data, first part is primary data. Primary data is further divided into three parts. That is personal interview, indirect interview, telephonic interview. Under the primary data, first method is interview. That interview is bifurcated into three: personal interview, indirect interview, telephonic interview. Under the personal interview, we will go in the situation like natural calamity, direct respondents are possible. Then indirect interview. At the time of rail accidents, we'll go for indirect interview. Telephonic interview over the phone call, and quick responses there, and that quick responses there, and can also be sometimes some persons are not able to pick your call also, so there will be a non-response as well. Then here we will go with types of interview. What is an accuracy? Under the personal, there is a highly accurate. You have personal connect with that person. Indirect, the accuracy will be low. Telephonic, accuracy will be low. Coverage, low. I need to come with one person to one-on-one person, so there is a coverage possibility is very low. Indirect interview also coverage possibility is very low. Under telephonic interview, we can go with call centers and we can ask them to do a higher coverage. If you want to go for getting into the CA admission or CMA admission, you will get a call from many coaching centers. Like, so there is a something known as telephonic process. They will go. So that you can cover high number of people, high coverage of area is possible. Then next one is non-responsive. Under personal interview, non-responsive is very low because we have a personal connect with that person, personally interviewing that person. Whether they will respond immediately or not, we will easily see. Indirect measure also, it is very low. Telephonic interview, it is non-responsive is high. Then come to mailed questionnaire method. Mailed questionnaire method means mailed means by post or email you will get a question from that person. That is non-responses maximum because I may not be able to respond to that method, but it is a quickest method. Next, observation method. Observation method is nothing but instruments are used to collect the data. For example, height check, weight check are there. Limitations, it is more accurate, but it is time consuming. Next one, questionnaire filled and sent by enumerators. Generally, it is used by the surveys. Generally, it is used by the surveys. This was the primary data. Then come to a secondary data. What is meant by secondary data? It is a sources of the secondary data based on the intranets. The whatever the data which are available, whatever the reports which are available, that reports are known as a secondary data in the current internet scenario. That is basically divided into 4 parts. One is international, next one is government sources, next one is primary, private or quasi, and next one is unpublished sources. If it is international, WHO, International Monetary Fund, International Labour Organizations covers. Government sources, RBI, SEBI, IRDA covers. Private or quasi, it is NCRT, ISI, ICAI, that's all cover under private or quasi. Unpublished sources known as research papers, theory papers, thesis, whatever we are presenting with our schools or colleges at the MPhil or PhD level, we are doing that paper presentations, everything. Then come to classification, or classification is known as organizations of data. First part is known as collection of data. Then it is classification. The classification part is further divided into 4 parts. One is chronological. Chronological means order wise. It is otherwise known as temporal, or either it is otherwise known as time series data. They can play with the words. Okay, chronological data basically we will cover under frequency group. It is based on the time. Next, geographical or spatial. That is another word for geographical is spatial series data. It is a non-frequency group and it will cover region or area wise. Next, third one will be a qualitative data. Qualitative data is also known as ordinal data. Next, quantitative data. Quantitative data is cardinal data. It may be helpful for your theory parts. When the data are classified in respect of successive time points or intervals, that type of data is known as time series data based on that classification part. Next one, sixth one, presentations of data. Presentation of data is basically divided into 3 types. One is textual method. Textual method is divided. It is a simplicity method. It is an advantages. But what is the disadvantages? It is dull. Because if you have study or study material, it is completely line by line. It is a textual method. Okay. And it is monotonous and not possible in comparisons of different observations will not be possible because we are only having a theory textual method of data. Then B, tabular or tabulation method. It is basically 5 parts. What is caption, box set, stub, body, title? What is mean by caption? Caption is an upper part that is covered in the columns and subcolumns. What is box set? Box is an entire upper part with the caption is known as box set. Under the box set only we will do units of measurement. Then stubs, units of measurement will be indicated over there. What is a stub? Stub is known as left part of the table. You may expect a question from this part. Then body. Our stub is the left part of the table and it covers rows. Then body is a main part which conducts a numerical, which conducts a table, everything. Then it is a title. These are the 5 parts. Along with this, you can also see footnote and the source note at the bottom of the table where I collected the sources. What is any disclosure is near, I will put it in my footnote. Then what is my merits? Merits is a comparison between M and N. M is nothing but rows and columns is possible. Complicated data also can be presented through tabulation. Then must for diagrammatic representation. Without a table, you cannot go for a diagrammatic representation. Textual should be converted into tabular form. Tabular should be converted into diagrammatic form. Then come to diagrammatic method. Diagrammatic method is also known as a graphical method. It is an alternative and it is an attractive method. What is an attractive method? They may ask you a question. The graphical method or the diagrammatic method is your answer. Then compared to tabulation, this is less accurate because in tabulation we have exact data, but in a diagrammatic series maybe some minute points and errors may be occur. So it is compared to tabulation. This is less accurate. This is less accurate. Next, in this we are further divided into without frequency, with frequency. If it is without frequency, we divide it into line diagram. Line diagram is also known as historiogram. Historiogram. This is not histogram, historiogram. It is completely from your textbook only. I'm giving a summary over here. and it is one dimensional, 1D. Then bar diagram, without frequency bar diagram, it is one dimensional. All the rectangles having a equal width under the bar diagram. Next one, pie diagram. You may expect a sum over the pie diagram, but pie diagram is a two-dimensional, 2D diagram. What is this? Theta is equal to data divided by total into 360. They may give you data. Based on that, they may ask you to highest degree less lowest degree, they may find out the value. What you need to do whenever they give us sum, what you need to do, add all the total, put it in a denominator, take the lowest value. Let's say 30 is my lowest value. Highest value is 90. 90. My total, let's say, assume it is somewhere around 180. My 180. Then it is my 360. 360. I need to find out the value. I will get the value over smaller value. For the greater value, I will have the value over here. Then I will subtract it and I will get the differences between the highest versus lowest under the pie diagram. That is the question in set B. You can also refer. Then with the frequency, it is divided into 4. One is histogram. Histogram is 2D. Historiogram or line diagram is 1D. Histogram will be helpful to find out the mode. This is also called area diagram. Histogram is also called area diagram. Then frequency polygon. Frequency polygon is 2D. Frequency curve is 2D. Cumulative frequency curve or Ojai curve, it is 2D. It is helpful to prepare. It is helpful to identify that median because it is because upper frequency and it is a lowest class frequency. The intersecting point is known as the median, and the mode, it is a topmost point. We are covering a two subordinates, and we will connect a diagram that is known as histogram. Cumulative frequency, it is a shape is known as inverted S. They may ask you in a theory question. Next, what is mean by frequency? Frequency is nothing but a repetitions of a particular observation in a given data is known as frequency. Ninth one, range. It is a difference between maximum and the minimum value of an observation. It is a maximum minus minimum. Maximum minus minimum or highest minus lowest. That is known as a range. Maximum value minus minimum value of that observation. 10th one, class limit. What is a class limit? The limits could actually appear in the data and have a gaps between the upper limit of the class and the lower limit of the next class is known as class limit. Many of them are confusing about class limit and class boundary. Class limit means we have some gap between the data. Class boundary means we will have a continuous data. Class limit, I can say 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29. This and all comes under class limit. What is a class boundary? Class boundary is there is a no gap between the upper boundary and the lower boundary. Kindly remember this. Many of them are trying to confuse you. So class limit means gap, limit gap, GL or LG. Remember like LG, class limit, gap, boundary. There is no gap. Remember one thing, another thing will easily come it for you. Between upper boundary and the lower boundary, it is 0 to 10, 10 to 20. You can convert this upper limit to upper boundary also, lower limit to lower boundary also. How? 0.5, 9.5, 9.5, 19.5. What I have done in the first part of the lower boundary, I am adding 0.5. In the second part and the upper class limit, I am adding 0.5. So it will become a continuous data. Then what is meant by class width or class size? This is an important area you need to be careful. Class width or class size is known as upper boundary minus lower boundary is known as class width or class size. That is 10 minus 0 is equal to 10. 20 minus 10 is equal to 10. So it is a class upper boundary minus lower boundary. Then what is the midpoint? Either you can go in two ways. Upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2, or upper class boundary plus lower class boundary divided by 2. In any method, you can find out the value. Midpoint, mid value, class mark, both are same. These three are remain same. Class width and class size are same. That is upper boundary minus lower boundary. Midpoint, mid value and class mark are same. These three things remains the same. That is LCL plus UCL divided by 2 or LCB plus UCB divided by 2. Then what is meant by frequency density? Frequency density is a class frequency divided by class width. What is relative frequency? Class frequency divided by total frequency. Frequency density, class frequency divided by class width. Okay, class width means class size. Class size means upper boundary minus lower boundary. Okay, relative frequency means class frequency divided by total frequency you need to put. Then 16th one, what is a percentage frequency? Percentage frequency is a relative frequency into 100. Percentage frequency is nothing but relative frequency into 100. What is lower class limit? How you find out? From lower class boundary minus half of the difference. What is upper class limit? Upper boundary minus half of the difference. Half of the difference. Next one, 19th one. What is the difference here? Difference is nothing but the lower boundary of the nth class minus upper boundary of n minus 1th class. This is a formula you cannot, if you remember, it is fine. If not, you can easily omit that part. Then 20th one, median can be obtained from intersection of OJ curves, and mode can be obtained from the histogram. That's what I already said. Median, OJ curves, mode, histogram. Then 21, in your study material, you will have a curve diagram, how the J-shaped curve, and it is a bell-shaped curve. Bell-shaped curve we will see in depth in normal distribution part and the theoretical distribution, and it is a U-shaped curve. Mixed shaped curve, for example, it is a business cycle. Business cycles comes under the mixed curve. J-shaped curve, only the company is making the profits and profits only, it will become a J-shaped curve. Okay, next, come to a bell-shaped curve. Finally, bell-shaped curve will be there at an intersection point. It will is a mean is equal to median is equal to mode. At the point it is 1. This is known as a symmetric diagram. If it is a positive skewed, mean is greater than median, median is greater than mode. If it is negatively skewed, mean is less than median, median is less than mode, negatively skewed. That's all with statistical description of data. We have covered it is almost in 10 to 15 minutes we have covered. Now come to measures of central tendency. The measures of central tendency, what is mean by central tendency? A central tendency means a single expression representing the whole group. That's the center point, which is representing a whole group is known as central tendency. Then what is a formula? It is a basically measures of central tendency is a mathematical average. It is basically divided into mathematical average and positional average. Under measures of central tendency, we will study about mathematical average. Under this mathematical average, we will go with the formula. We will divide this into two parts. Whenever you come across with raw data, whenever you come across with ungrouped data, or whenever you come across with discrete data, we are going to use one set of formula. Whenever you come across with grouped data, we are going to use one set of formula. Remaining everything, this only is the two parts, but in your study material, you may have a raw material different formula, ungrouped data different formula, discrete data different formula. But as far as my approach is concerned, it is divided into basically two formula for raw data, ungrouped and discrete data, and it is a formula for grouped data. For an arithmetic mean, x bar is equal to summation x by n for raw data. N is equal to small n is equal to number of items. For discrete data, it is summation fx divided by summation f. Summation fx divided by summation f. For grouped data also, summation fx divided by summation f only. Okay, at that we will find out the x bar, that is the median x we will find out. X is nothing but here the mid value of that grouped data we will find out. For 0 to 10, what is x value? 5. 10 to 15, 10 to 20, what is x value? That is 5. And then frequency will be there. And then we will multiply and we will use the same formula what we are using in discrete to find out the value. Our students will very well play with this formula. Then we'll go with geometric mean. Yeah, geometric mean you will have a calculator tricks. Whenever you come across with the 5th root or 7th root or 8th root, you may play with the calculators. Calculator tricks has already been uploaded in tips and tricks video. We have done 20 to 20 tips and tricks videos. In that, in the first 5 parts itself, I covered the calculator tricks for geometric mean. Go and refer that part. We'll just see the formula over here. Raw data, root of nth root of x1 into x2 plus x3 up to n mark we need to do. Then if it is suppose discrete data, they may not try to test you on discrete data. They will stick to raw data only. If the worst scenario can happen, what you need to do, f1 plus f2 f3, whatever the frequency is there, you need to put it in that root value along with x1 f1 into x2 f2 x3 f3 up to the last point what they have given, you need to put. Then whenever they come across with this grouped data, mostly they will not come across with the grouped data under the geometric mean. Just read this formula, that is more than sufficient. Come to harmonic mean. At last minute revision, this is more than sufficient for you. For harmonic mean, whenever raw data comes, it is n divided by n, 1 divided by x plus 1, x1 plus 1 divided by x2 plus 1 divided by x3 plus 1 divided by xn. This is a raw data. For two variables, whenever there is a two variables, there is a direct answer you will write. Whenever a and b is there, you can directly write 2ab divided by a plus b. Remember this formula. Kindly remember this formula. Harmonic mean is equal to 2ab divided by a plus b for two variables data. Then whenever they come across with that grouped data, it is summation f divided by f1 by x1 plus f2 by x2 plus f3 by f3 till fn by xn. So this they may test you in an examination. Kindly remember this formula. Then what is the notes? Summation x is equal to n x bar when there is a equidistant of the data. Suppose the data is 1, 2, 3, 4. How you can find out the mean for the data? Don't go with the summation x by n formula. Summation x by n. Don't go with that. What is summation x? 7 plus 2, 9, 9 plus 1, 10. 10 divided by 4. What is 10 divided by 4? 2.5 is the answer, right? Don't go with that method. Whenever you come across with equidistant, it may be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, like that. Find out an arithmetic mean. What you need to do? First term plus last term divided by 2. What is the first term? 1 plus 4 divided by 2. 5 divided by 2, 2.5. Easily done. Then what is this answer? 3 plus 18 is 21. 21 divided by 2. 21 divided by 2 is somewhere around 10.5. 10.5 is your answer. That's it. Whenever x and weighted is equal, x and weight is equal, both remains the same. What you need to do? 2n plus 1 divided by 3. That is the formula. Then come to positional average. Positional average is nothing but mathematical average. We see it is a mean. Mean is further divided into arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean. Positional average is basically divided into median and mode. There's other two types. Under the median or mode also, we have divided the formula into two groups. One is raw data, discrete data, ungrouped data. And another one is grouped data. Next one is median. What is a median? Median, we will use it for open-end class. The open-end class, let's say it is less than 10. That's the starting point is less than 10, that's less than 20. Like this is known as open-end class. That open-end class is median is denoted by ME. That formula for raw data. This is a formula for raw data. What is a raw data formula? N plus 1 divided n plus 1 by n plus 1 divided by 2th item. That is, first, whenever median data is given, you need to see whether the given data is in an ascending order. It can be do in two ways. One is in ascending order and another one is in the descending order. But basically, as far as the trend will go with an ascending order. It is small n plus n divided by 2th observation. Here the n is number of items. Okay, number of items plus 1 divided by 2th observation. Suppose if it is a discrete data. First, what is a discrete data? I'm a little bit confused about that part. Just listen to this. 1, 2, 3, 4 is given. F value 5, 6, 7, 9 is given. It means 1 is repeated 5 times, 2 is repeated 6 times, 3 is repeated 7 times, 4 is repeated 9 times. Whenever this kind of data, this is known as a discrete data. At the time here, the capital N is equal to summation F. You need to add all this part and then you need to find out the value. Okay, then come to grouped frequency distribution. What is a grouped frequency distribution? L1 plus n divided by 2. This kind of sums you will see in your set C problems. Try to avoid those set C problems. Just remember the formula. If that question comes, if you have no choice to answer that question, kindly do the set C problem. Median is equal to L1 plus n divided by 2 minus m divided by f into C. What is the C? C is nothing but a class frequency. Class width. What is a class width? Suppose the given data is 0 to 10, 10 to 20 is there. What is a class width we are having? It is 10. So it is 10 is a class width. That is C. L1 is a lower class boundary. N divided by 2 minus m. Minus m is a cumulative frequency divided by f, where f here given that L is a lower limit of the median, F is a frequency of the median class, M is a cumulative frequency of that median class. Median class is nothing but when median class is a class where the cumulative frequency is greater than n by 2. Next, what is mode? Mode is nothing but value that occurs most often. Under that mode part, we will only take that frequency part. Okay, so under the mode, whatever the highest frequency we will take for raw data, we will take it for discrete data. Okay, for raw data, highest frequency. For discrete data, we will find what is an highest frequency. On the above, what is the x value? That is my mode. Okay, let's say it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. Now, this is my f, this is my x. Under mode, they are asking to find out the mode. What is the maximum frequency? 11. On that, which is a value? 1. So my mode is equal to 1. It is not mode is my 11. Mode is 1. Okay. Then, what is the grouped frequency formula? L plus F1 minus F0 divided by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into C. C is nothing but your class width of that class width value. L is nothing but a lower class limit. F is nothing but a frequency of the pre-model class. F0 is a pre-model class. F1 is a current frequency of that model class. F2 is a subsequent of that model class. C is nothing but your class width. That's it. Here, the cumulative frequency will not play a role. Only cumulative frequency will play a role under median. It will not play a role under mode. Okay. Model class is a class with that highest frequency we will take. Even though it is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, or 30 to 40, whatever the highest frequency value is there, we will take that class for our consideration. Okay. Then the relationship between mean, median, and mode. This plays a very crucial role in your examination. Kindly listen to it. Symmetrical. Symmetrical is nothing but a mean is equal to median is equal to mode. It remains both are having a same value. Then what is asymmetrical or moderately skewed distribution? If it is asymmetrical or moderately skewed, the formula is mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. Repeat it again. Mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. Alternatively, mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. This is a derivative form of this. Mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median, or mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. Next, come to partition values. Many of them will omit this part, but you need to listen to this part. Then come to what is meant by quartile. Quartile is 4. Basically, the line is drawn 1, 2, 3. First quartile, second quartile, third quartile, fourth quartile. These are 4 parts we are dividing, but it is basically 1, 2, 3. We are using only 3 partitions. So it is quartiles is nothing but Q1, Q2 or Q3. What is Q1? N plus 1 divided by 4th item. Q3 is nothing but 3 into N plus 1 divided by 4th item. What is Q2? 2 into N plus 1 divided by 4th item. Here N is equal to number of items. This is for raw data. What is for discrete data? The same median formula we are using, but we are just changing that part, denominator part. Suppose they are asking that part for Q3. 3 into N plus 1 divided by 4th observation. Here capital N is equal to summation F. Then this is for grouped data. Grouped data, the same, whatever the formula N by 2, the median formula we are going to use, but we are slightly change it to quartile part. That is Qi is equal to L plus I into N by 4 minus cumulative frequency divided by frequency into C. Repeat it again. Qi is equal to L plus I into N plus N by 4 minus cumulative frequency divided by F into C. That is for grouped. Then basically the partition values is divided into 2: quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. We have covered quartiles. Now it is the time to cover percentiles. Percentile is nothing but 100, but it is an 100. We are only having 99 parts, because very simple. Whenever they give D10 is give. Suppose they are speaking about deciles. If they are speaking about deciles, it is only having 9 parts. If they are speaking about quartiles, it is having 3 parts. When you are speaking about the percentiles, it is having 99 parts. So P50, here the P50 is the median. Here Q2 is your median. Okay, the center point is known as median. Here P50 is the center point, so it is your median. So for raw data, so percentage means 100. So denominator should be an 100. I into N plus 1 divided by 100th item. Then discrete or ungrouped data, the formula is capital N plus 1 divided by 100th ith item or ith observation, you can tell, where capital N is equal to summation F. Then come to grouped. Grouped is equal to P is equal to L plus I into N by 100 minus cumulative frequency divided by frequency into C. Here the C is nothing but your class width. You already know about that class width part. Then come to decile. Decile means it is 9 parts. D5 is the median over here. D5 is the median over here. Then come to raw data. Raw data is equal to Di is equal to I into N plus 1 divided by 10th observation. I am expecting a question either in quartiles or in percentiles or in deciles. For raw data or a discrete data, they may try to confuse you in these 2 parts. Suppose the question to be tested and you need to spend more time on it, they may go with grouped data. I'm expecting one question on this part. Then come to discrete data. Discrete data is Di is equal to I plus N plus 1 divided by 10th observation, where N is equal to capital F. Summation F. Grouped, Di is equal to L plus I into N by 10 minus cumulative frequency divided by frequency into C. That is for grouped data. Then come to overall view. This may be helpful for you. Okay, this is a measure based on all data. What is in extreme values, whether the extreme values will be affected. What it can be used for, whether the graphical representation will be possible or not. For arithmetic mean, it is based on all data. It is most affected by extreme values. What is meant by extreme values? Very simple. 4, 5, 1000. This 1000 is known as an extreme values. It will affect it. The arithmetic mean, it is most affected to be used when it is required to use all the data. It can, when the data you need to take all the data, arithmetic mean can be used. The graphical representation, we are not having any graphical representation for mean. Then geometric, it is based on all data. The extreme values are not affected. Extreme values are not affected. It cannot, basically you cannot say it cannot be determined also. And it will be helpful for ratios. It will be helpful for percentages. If it is a percentages, that will be based on compound interest. If it is a compound interest, you will use geometric mean. We have uploaded one trap question something. Okay, last 1 month before we uploaded one trap question. Go and check out in CA Foundation June 2024 playlist. Okay, that may be helpful for you. Okay, under harmonic mean, it is based on all observation. It is basically at that when we are having that extreme values, it is not affected, or you can say it cannot be determined. and it is based on speed, time, distance, simple interest. When it is simple interest, we will go with harmonic mean. When it is come to compound interest, we will go with geometric mean. When it comes with speed, time, distance, everything we will go with a harmonic mean. Then graphical representation is possible. No, graphical representation will not be possible. Then come to median. Median is nothing but Q2, ME. It is based on, it will observe all the observation. No, we will only check 50% of the observation. It is least affected. It is least affected. Percent of extreme values will not be affected because 4, 5,000. If it is a median, 5 is my median. Whether the 100 is affecting my answer? No. So it is least affected. It is a middlemost value. Data has extreme values and it will be helpful for open end class. It can be used for open end class. Will there any graphical representation? The answer is yes. What is a graphical representation? How you can find it? The curve is known as ogive curves. That is a cumulative frequency distribution. Then mode. It is based on only highest value. It will not cover all the data. It is based on the frequency repeated. And it is also less affected. Based on shoe size, shirt size, values represents are most often. What are the values which has repeated or most often? We will choose that. The shoe size and shirt are the examples of mode. They may test you in theory based question. Will there any diagrammatic representation or a graphical representation is available for mode? The answer is yes. That is known as histogram. It is only histogram. It is not historiogram. It is histogram. Then come to quartile deviation. It is only 25% of observation. It is less affected. As median is least affected, it is also less affected. It can be helpful for to find out the median. All the graphical representation is known as ogive curves for median. Deciles 10% of observation will only covers. Percentage will only cover 1% of the observation. So that is the least affected. Next, come to the properties of arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean. You may expect a question on this. The sum of deviations of an items from an arithmetic means is always 0. That is summation x minus x bar is equal to 0. Next one. The sum of squared deviation of an item from an arithmetic mean is minimum. That is nothing but summation x minus x bar the whole square is minimum as compared to median or as compared to mode. Then C, if the values of arithmetic mean is constant k and AM is also constant, then any one value is negative or 0, GM cannot be calculated. Geometry mean cannot be calculated if you are getting 0 or if you are getting negative value, because in root you cannot get a negative value over there. Your final answer should not be negative. Then geometric mean of Z is equal to geometric mean of X into geometric mean of Y. You may get a problem based on this. Okay, next, what is combined arithmetic mean and geometric mean and harmonic mean? Arithmetic mean is equal to n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar divided by n1 plus n2. For this, we have already uploaded tips and tricks video, and we have already do a video called Abhayasa series. In that, we have covered 100 most important tricky MCQs along with tricks we have covered. It is somewhere around we have done in 20 videos into 5 minutes or 6 minutes maximum. It will only take 10 to 1 hour to 1.5 hour to revise the entire statistics problem wise. Go and refer that video. Then geometric mean, combined geometric mean, they will not be tested. They may be tested on arithmetic mean or harmonic mean. These two, they may be tested for sure. But geometric mean, it is somehow complex. They may not test you. If they test you, just write based on the formula, you can easily work out. That is G1 plus N1, G1 power N1 plus G2 power N into G2 power N2 whole power 1 divided by N1 plus N2. Next, harmonic mean. Harmonic mean is equal to N1 plus N2 divided by N1 H1 plus N2 H2. For this, we have already uploaded a calculator trick under the tips and tricks video. Go and check out that sum. Okay. Now come to relationship between AM, GM and HM. When there is an equal value, all the values remain same. When there is a distinct values, that is equally positively distant. Arithmetic mean is greater than geometric mean is greater than the harmonic mean. There is this formula they may be tested. GM square is equal to AM into HM. GM square is equal to AM into HM, or GM is equal to root of AM into HM. They may test you in the numericals. Then there is one thing, all measures of central tendency depends on change of origin or change of scale. This concept we have clearly explained for 5 to 6 minutes over the video, and we have already uploaded some part of video in measures of central tendency. In that, there is a 4 demo videos. You can check out the video for in-depth understanding of what is change of origin, change of scale. In simpler, I will tell you change of origin is nothing but an addition and subtraction. Change of scale is nothing but a multiplications and the divisions. All the measures of central tendency means mean, median, mode. These 3 will be affected by change change of origin and change of scale. It is dependent on change of origin and change of scale. So it is affected by change of origin and change of scale. They may surely test you 1 question to maximum 2 questions from change of origin and change of scales. Then if all the variables are, what is meant by change of origin? Or they may say, other students may say it is a shift of origin. That is known as change of origin. If all the variables are added or subtracted by the constant item, then mean, median, mode will increase by that constant. If all the variables are multiplied and divided by that constant, then mode, median, mean also will be multiplied by the same constant. One example I will give you, that is 2x plus 3y is equal to 10. X bar is equal to 2. What is y bar? They ask you. What you need to do? Simply substitute the value over here. 2 2s are 4. So it is 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3y is equal to 6. Y is equal to 2. That is known as change of origin and shift of scale. It is dependent on everything. So it is not, we will just simply substitute the value and get the answer. And by watching this video, don't come and ask me for this PDF. I'm not going to provide this PDF to you. Just listen it. This is an exam time, which I want to personally do whenever the students are traveling from one district to another district to write their exams. At the time of traveling, just have their headphones and you can easily watch it and you can easily revise the entire part of the statistics. Now, come to a calculator tricks. What is a geometric mean? What is a calculator tricks we can do? Whatever the given number, you can take that number, press that number. 13 times square root button you need to press and then subtract -1. Then divided by the order, whether it's a third root, fourth root, fifth root, seventh root, 10th root, divided by that number. And whatever you subtracted, then you will add. Then into equal to for 13 times, into equal to, that is 1 time, into equal to second time, into equal to for third time. Like this you need to do for 13 times. If you do quickly, you can easily find out the answer. So that is 13 times you need to do. Okay, suppose they are asking for fourth root. For fourth root, they are asking, simply press 2 times square root button. Simply press 2 times square root button. If they are asking eighth root, simply press 2 times square root button. 3 times square root button. Okay, that is 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 cube, 2 4, 2 power 5. Like this, if they ask you, okay. So whenever there is asking 32th root, 16th root, you need to press square root button for 4 times only. If they are asking 8th root, then it is not 8th value. It is 8th root. This is 8th root, right? That 8th root, if they ask, you need to press simply 3 times. Okay. Then this is one of the interesting question for the examiner to test you, whether you have studied that part. What is meant by rectification of errors? It is not an accountancy part. It is a statistics part. It is a corrected standard deviation. They may give you a wrong means. You need to add the wrong, you need to subtract the wrong entry and you need to add the correct entry. That the formula is nx bar minus wrong entry plus correct entry divided by n. Remember the formula again. Nx bar minus wrong entry plus correct entry divided by n. Nx bar minus wrong entry plus correct entry divided by n. That is what is meant in WO. Wrong observation plus correct observation. That's it. Okay. All observations are constant. Harmonic mean is constant. It is an average of first order. What is an average of first order? If they ask you the question, it is measures of general tendency. They will not ask you, but suppose if they ask you, that is our answer. Then remember this part. Okay, it may be helpful for you for your next chapter, that is measures of dispersion. QD is to MD is to ST is equal to 10 is to 12 is to 15. You may get a direct question also. Suppose they may give you that part also. QD by MD is equal to 5 by 6. MD by SD is equal to 4 by 5. QD by SD is equal to 2 by 3. What is by QD? QD is equal to, you may simply write it 5 by 6 of MD. Okay, what is mean by MD? 4 by 5 of SD. Then what is mean by QD? Again, if compared to SD, this 2 by 3 of FD. Like this, you can derive the formula. If you want, you can just take this screenshot. Okay, now we are starting with our next topic, measures of dispersion. The measures of dispersion, what is mean by meaning? Central tendency is a measure how similar data can be represented, whereas what is mean by dispersion? Dispersion is a measure of variability and scatteredness of that observation. You may get it these 2 words in your answer papers, like in a theory-based question. The measures of dispersion is nothing but a variability and the scatteredness of the observations or the given data. What is various measures of dispersion? Dispersion is basically divided into 2. One is an absolute measure, one is a relative measure. Absolute measure is a unit of measurement is possible. That is known as amount of variation. Relative measure is a unit free measure. It is known as degree of variation. Okay, degree means it is a percentage of this variation. Then we will divide this into basically 2 parts. absolute measures is divided into two parts, relative measures is divided into two parts. Absolute measures further divided into two parts, that is based on selected item, based on all item. Based on some selected item, it is range and quartile deviation. Because range means highest and lowest, we will only cover some selected pieces of the data. What is quartile deviation? We will only take about that QD is nothing but a quartiles, your median. So it is the center part of the value. Based on all items, it is mean deviation and the standard deviation. This, if they ask a best measure of best average, it is an arithmetic mean. Which is the best measure of dispersion? It is standard deviation. Why it is standard deviation? It is dependent on arithmetic mean, so it is a best measure. Okay, now come to relative measure. Under the relative measure is based on two things. One is based on selected items, one is based on all items. If it is selected on based items, the range is the extensive of the relative measure, that is known as coefficient of range. Quartile deviation is known as coefficient of quartile deviation. If it is based on all items, mean deviation is known as coefficient of mean deviation. And the standard deviation part is known as, it's not coefficient of standard deviation, it is a coefficient of variation. It is coefficient of variation. Remember this part. Coefficient of variation. What is meant by range? Range we have already covered in the first part, statistical description of data. It is highest value minus lowest value or least value. What is coefficient of range? Coefficient of range is h minus l divided by h plus l into 100. Range is an independent of frequency. Frequency will not affect the range. Range cannot be calculated for open and close, less than 10, more than 10. Like this, range is not at all possible because we don't know the lowest value. Range is independent of frequency. Frequency is not at all affected. Very simple. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, this value is 5, this value is 6, 20 to 30, this value is 8. Suppose they are asking to find out the range for this given data for the group. Very simple. Highest value is 30, lowest value is 0. So my range is 30. That's it. Okay. The range frequency is not at all affected by range. Range will not affect that. Range is an independent of frequency. And for the one condition for that range is class should be continuous. If it is a discontinuous, what you need to do? Make it a continuous and then find the range. They may ask you this question. Okay, they may give you a discontinuous data and they will try to find out the range. Many of them will commit a mistake. But what you need to do? Just simply make it as a continuous. And then you will find out the range for this. Omit the frequency part. Interquartile range. What is interquartile range? What is a range? Highest minus lowest. What is a quartile? Q1, Q2, Q3. What is a Q3? It is an highest part. Q1 is the lowest part. So Q3 minus Q1 is an interquartile range. Okay. What is a quartile deviation or semi-interquartile range? Semi-interquartile range is known as a quartile deviation. That is semi. Semi means half. Half of it interquartile range. That is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. What is coefficient of quartile deviation? It is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1 or QD divided by median. This is another formula which many of them will not remember, but you will remember that. I will repeat it again. Coefficient of quartile deviation is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1 or QD divided by median. What is mean deviation? Mean deviation for raw data, it is summation x minus average divided by n. Here the average means for mean, it is an x bar. For median, it is a median. For mode, it is a mode. It is a modulus. It implies negative to be considered as a positive. That's what the modulus means. Modes means absolute. It means absolute basically. Absolute means no negative values is possible. Okay. Whenever it comes across with mean, it is x minus x bar. When it is come across with median, x minus median. Modulus of x minus median. When it comes across with mode, it is x minus mode. For ungrouped data, mean deviation is equal to x summation f into x minus average divided by summation f. Okay, summation f into modulus of x minus average divided by summation f. Then f is nothing but your frequency. What is coefficient of mean deviation? Whatever answer you are finding it here, that comes to your numerator. And what is the respective average? If there is about that mean deviation about mean, it is mean deviation of x bar divided by x bar into 100. Here you will find out the mean deviation of x bar for mean deviation about mean. If they ask mean deviation about median, mean deviation about median. What is mean deviation about mode? Mean deviation about mode. That's it. Then note, for the range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, it need not to be necessary. Coefficient should be multiplied by 100. 100 multiplication depends on the answer you will take a call. Whether you need to multiply by 100. If answer is like 4.5 like this, you will not multiply by 100. Suppose the answer is 45, then multiply by 100. It is not necessary for range or quartile deviation or mean deviation to use multiplication as an 100 for coefficient finding out of that. Okay, then come to standard deviation. What is a standard deviation? For a raw data, it is sigma is equal to root of summation x minus x bar the whole square divided by n, or it is a root of summation x square divided by n minus summation x by n. This summation x by n is nothing but your x bar. Okay, or I will repeat the standard deviation formula again. Sigma is equal to root of summation x minus x bar the whole square divided by n, or root of summation x square divided by n minus summation x by n the whole square. Okay, in any of these two formula, you will use any one formula, keep it as a standard thing, and you will approach that problem. Okay, what is meant by summation x square? It is n into sigma square by x bar square. This may be helpful for you. Next, discrete or ungrouped or grouped. For all the type of distribution, we are having one formula. Sigma is equal to root of summation f into x minus x bar the whole square divided by summation f. Or here it is a root of summation fx square divided by summation f minus summation fx divided by summation f the whole square. This is nothing but your x bar for a discrete or a grouped distribution. Okay, what is the variance? Variance is nothing but a sigma square. What is the coefficient of variation? Important question. You may expect a one question on that coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation is equal to sigma divided by x bar into 100. Lesser the covariation, more is a consistent. For this, you are having an illustrative problem like a cricket problem, bat problem, scoring a runs, scoring a score, scoring a marks. Okay, find out the coefficient of variation and check it the consistency. If you are getting A company is having a 50% of coefficient of variation. For B company, it is having a 36% of coefficient of variation. 36% is more consistent than 50% consistent. Very simple. For example, if I take a cricket player career, in the cricket player career, every 5 balls the person is taking a wicket, or every 8 balls they is taking a wicket. Now tell me which is consistent. The person who is throwing 5 balls and getting a wicket are consistent, or person throwing 8 balls and getting a wicket are consistent. It is only 5, right? So it is a lesser the covariance, more is a consistency. Remember this, you may get a theory question on that. If the person is going to be an examiner, if they try to test you conceptually, they will ask this question. Note, it is necessary to be covariance should be multiplied by 100 because it should be in a percentage. It should be in a percentage, so it should be multiplied by 100. And come to shift of origin and change of scale concept. All deviation of QD, MD, SD are independent of shift of origin. Plus or minus will not at all affect the shift of origin, but it is dependent on change of scale. It is only affected by that multiplication and division part. Deviations remains the same if we are added or subtract, but changes if we multiply or divide. So if the equations are given, ignore the constant. How you need to approach the QD, MD, SD problem? Ignore the constant, simply do it. Even for range also. 2x plus 3y minus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to 3. What is y they are asking? So what you need to do? Ignore the constant because it is not at all affecting. So what you need to do? 2x is equal to 3y. That's how. Because you need to divide these two things. 2x is equal to 3y. Because it is not affected. Because it is not affected by the plus or minus sign. So the other side, if you go for minus also, it is not going to affect you. Okay, next step, 2 into 3 is equal to 3y. So it is 6 by 3 is equal to y. So y will become equal to 2. That's what your answer is. So remember this, you will get a question. Next, 12th one. All deviations here should be a positive. Range, QD, MD, SD, all should be a positive. So for this, AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0. So AX is equal to modulus of y. This modulus is also known as absolute value. It is affected by positive magnitude of change of scale. That's what the change of scale means. It is a dependent on change of scale, but it is only a positive magnitude of change of scale. Positive magnitude means it is an absolute value. For SD, it is an equation form. Even for SD, y is equal to a plus or minus b of x. It is standard deviation of y is equal to standard deviation of x, but you need to simply multiply by the modulus of b value. Okay, modulus of b value you need to multiply. Then variance of y is equal to b square into variance of x. Remember this, you may get a question. Variance of y is equal to v of y is equal to b square into variance of x. If they want to try to test you under the standard deviation part, they may try to test you in combined standard deviation or a rectification of errors under the standard deviation. Step 1, x bar is equal to n x bar, n1 x bar. Whatever the first process you done for combined arithmetic mean, you need to find it as an x bar. N1 x bar, n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar divided by n1 plus n2. Then what is the step 2? Find out the deviation. What is my deviation? X1 minus X bar, X2 minus X bar. What is the step 3? Sigma is equal to root of n1 into sigma square 1 plus d1 square plus n2 into sigma 2 square plus d2 square whole divided by n1 plus n1. That's what the formula is. But here they will try to give you this n1, they will give you n2, they will give you x1, x2, they will give you this two values, they will give you this values. You can easily find out these two values only. You need to find out. This final point is known as a combined SD. Okay, there is a book back question under set B also, and set C also is there, and some illustrative problems are there regarding combined standard deviation. Remember, once you will end of the session, kindly revise that problem, kindly work out that problem. Now come to corrected standard deviation under the rectification of error part. So somehow if this wrong data is given, how you need to correct the data? Very simple. It is divided into 3 parts: summation x square, corrected summation x square, corrected summation x. This 3, if you have this 3 data, you can easily find out. What is summation x first? Previously I have revised n1 into sigma square plus x bar square. What is corrected? Keep that value minus wrong entry square plus correct entry square. Minus wrong entry square, that is minus wrong observation square plus correct observation square. This may be difficult for some person. Just try to, if you have already done this, it is completely okay. Or else just remember this formula. If the question papers comes as much of difficult, just remember this formula and try to substitute and you will get an answer. Corrected summation x is equal to nx bar minus wrong entry plus correct entry. Whatever you've done it in summation x, do the same thing here also. What is corrected sigma? Corrected sigma is equal to root of corrected summation x square. This one comes divided by n minus corrected summation x divided by n. Okay, that rectification of error problem that you know done, no summation x by n. The same thing will comes here. Whatever the standard deviation formula, the same formula only we are applying it. Okay, there is some corrected word is there, summation is there, x bar square is there. That's it. Come to note, whenever they will ask you find out the standard deviation for 5 natural numbers, then you will need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then find out the formula summation x square divided by n minus summation x by n. Don't do this formula. Very simple. They have 5. Okay, they ask 9. They will ask 99. Whatever they will ask you, take a calculator. Very simply, 99 into equal to minus 1 divided by 12. Take a root value. You will get an answer. Very simple. In calculator, one step. If they ask 99 natural numbers value, or let's say 10 natural numbers value, take a calculator. 10 into equal to minus 1 divided by 12. Take a root value. Very simply, you will get a sigma value, standard deviation. If any of the two observations are equally repeated, or any two observations or equally repeated two observations are given, let's say 5, 3 is a two observation is given. This 5, 3, what is the sigma I need to find out? Very simple. Sigma is equal to half of range. Because we are having two data, find out the value 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So standard deviation is equal to 1 when they are given 2 data. Suppose they give 3 data, you will only go with an original formula. Okay. Suppose if they are given you 2 observations, that 2 observations are equally repeated. Let's say 3, 3, 3, 5, 5, 5. Then use this formula. Equally repeated 2 observations is there. Use this formula. Okay, so suppose 3, 3, 3, 3, 5, 5 is given. Don't use this method. What is that method? The same, half of this range. Half of the range is a method. Half of the range is a formula. That's it. We will take a 5 minutes break and then we will come back and we'll start with the new chapter. So we will start with the next chapter. Next chapter topic is theoretical distribution. What is a theoretical distribution? Theoretical distribution is divided into 2. One is discrete distribution and next one is a continuous distribution. What is a discrete distribution? Discrete distribution is also known as probability mass function. Continuous distribution is also known as probability density function. This probability discrete function is further divided into 2. Binomial distribution, Poisson distribution. Continuous distribution, that is probability density function, is divided into 1, that is normal distribution. This binomial distribution is further divided into, basically is based on the 2 factors, that is success or failure. What is success? Success is P. What is a failure? 1 minus P is equal to Q. That is your failure. That is P plus Q is equal to 1. Or this kind of concept is known as, when P and Q is there, this kind of concept is known as Bernoulli's trie. That is known as Bernoulli's distribution. Okay, now we will see with binomial distribution. Discrete is equal to, what is meant by discrete? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a given data. Then probability mass function, how you can find the probability mass function? P of x is equal to ncx into P of x into q power n minus x. What is C? C is nothing but your combination. ncx into P of x into q power n minus x. Then trial must be independent. All the trials should be an independent. N is equal to number of trials. P is equal to probability of success. What is Q? Probability of a failure. What is biparametric? Binomial distribution is a biparametric equation. What is a biparametric? Biparametric is N and P. This is known as the parameters. Next, wherever P is equal to Q is equal to 1 by 2, use the shortcut. Whenever you come across with P is equal to Q is equal to 1, then whenever comes across with heads and tails, whenever you come across with dice problem or the coins problem, you will use this shortcut. Suppose they are given n is equal to 6. What you can do? 6c6. Suppose they are asking a dice is thrown, or for example, you will come across with the probability, and what you need to do, whenever two possibilities are there, girl, boy, like kind of problem, in the denominator you will go with 2 power n value, what they are trying to test you, and here you will go with ncx value, what they are trying to text you. Okay, next, for this also I have already uploaded the sum on that my tips and tricks and Abhayasa series. Go and refer it. Then come to a properties for theoretical distribution. What is the properties for theoretical distribution? First one, under the probability for theoretical distribution for binomial. Okay, we're only speaking about the binomial part. Under the binomial part, mean is equal to NP. Variance is equal to NPQ. Remember this too. Okay, what is by mean? Mean is always greater than variance. Under binomial distribution, mean is always greater than variance. Under what is the standard deviation? Root of variance. Root of variance is nothing but root of NPQ. What is the maximum variance? Maximum variance is n by 4. How n by 4 will be find out? It is nothing but NPQ. What is n? N is there. P is nothing but 1 by 2. Q is nothing but 1 by 2. So it is n by 4. So maximum variance can be possible. It is n by 4. What is Qness? Qness is not there for your syllabus. Previously it was there. It is now it is completely omitted. And kurtosis problem is also omitted. Remember, you will not going to study this too. Okay, this is a notes which when I was studying that time, I have prepared this notes. Now come to the semantic. Semantic is P is equal to Q. P equal to Q equal to 1 by 2. So it is NPQ is equal to n by 4 final value. So if it is a negatively skewed, whenever negatively skewed, Q is less than P. When it's positively skewed, Q is greater than P. When it is positively skewed, Q is greater than P. When it's negatively skewed, Q is less than P. How you can find the mode under binomial distribution? It is n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 into P. Under case 1, let's say if n plus P is a non-integer, then it is unimodal. You will say n plus 1 is a non-integer. You will say it is a unimodal. The mode is the greatest integer contained. For example, 15 is a n value. P value, the probability of success, they are given 1 by 3. 15 plus 1 divided by 3, that is 16 by 3. 16 by 3 is nothing but 5.3. That is a non-integer value. It is not an integer value. So 5.3 is a decimal value. So 5.3 is there. What is the greatest integer contained? 5.3, which is the highest number. 5. 5 is the answer. Okay, it is not 5, 6. The next greater integer you should not take. It is 5.3, then it is a 5 is an integer. So we will take that full value. Then case 2, if n plus 1p is an integer, then it is a bimodal. When you get the answer, at the time is an integer. When it is a non-integer, it is unimodal. When it is an integer, it is bimodal. The same 17 is an n value. P is equal to 1 by 3. N plus 1p is equal to 18 by 3. 18 by 3 is a 6. 6 is an integer. So it is a bimodal. For that bimodal, that is the formula. Modes are n1 plus p, comma, n1 plus p minus n1, wait, whatever you will get the answer, 6. Immediately go with that lesser value, 6. If you get 7 as a mode, then if it is an integer, you will get 7 as a mode. Then go with the 6. Next, 9th one, additive property. Additive property, when they are given x value, when they are given y value, and they are asking to x plus y, you need to add n1 plus n2, comma p. That's it. n1 plus n2, comma p. Next, 10th one, uniform distribution. Suppose they are under binomial distribution, they are trying to test you under uniform distribution. Mean of uniform distribution is equal to n plus 1 divided by 2. Uniform distribution is equal to n plus 1 divided by 2. Theoretical probability distribution exists only in theory or exist in real life, or both. They may test you on this problem. So theoretical probability distribution exists only in theory, or it can be exist some in real life, or both. That's what your answer. This is, I think so, your additional question bank problem. I have written it in over the green color pen at that my colored handwritten notebook. So kindly refer that part. Then come to a next distribution problem. That is a Poisson distribution problem. That is n is equal to infinity. Here the number of trials are very large. Okay, but P, probability of success is very small. Whenever you come across with two kinds of scenarios, number of trials are very large and the probability of success is very small, and NP is equal to lambda, that is NP is equal to M, you cancel. For this Poisson distribution, if I am not wrong, there is 4 way examples they have given in your theory part of your ICA study material. Once immediately the video is over or while watching this video, just pause the video, take your ICA study material and go to that example page that misprints in the book. Somewhere they will try to just test you. Find out the answer and read that 4 parts that may be test you in your theory based question. This is a Poisson distribution. Poisson distribution is based on probability mass function. So here x is equal to x. Here e minus m into m minus x divided by x bar, or you may say e minus lambda is equal to lambda power x divided by x bar. Here lambda is a parameter or m is a parameter. I will say it is used to m, so I am not using the lambda. So Poisson is a uniparametric because you are having only one parameter, that is m or the lambda. So many of them are asked you how I can find the e value. Sir, e value you can easily find out. If they're given, you can take the value. If they are not given, you can use the value. What is the e value? The magic number is 2.71828. The magic number is, repeat it again, 2.71828. Remember this value. Okay, like logs we can find out. No, 3558 is a magical number we will do. Okay, how I will tell you logs, I will tell you. Take the value, take the whatever the value, 3 log 3 they are asking. Take the value, take 13 times square root, 13 times square root, then subtract 1, multiply by 3558. That's it. You can easily get the log. If you do the reverse calculation, you will get an anti-log. Don't go beyond the anti-log. Anti-log is not required. You will only focus on that log problem. Okay, this is based on the log. It is not based on the e value. E is equal to 2.71828. I will repeat it again as well. What is the property is? This property is only for that Poisson distribution. Under Poisson distribution, mean is equal to variance. What is mean? M. What is the variance? M. Because it is a uniparametric. We are having only one variable. Standard deviation is equal to root M. This skewness remove, kurtosis remove. Very simple. Poisson distribution is always positively skewed. This theory you may expect. Poisson distribution is always positively skewed. Case 1. If it is not an integer, it is a non-integer. Take highest integral value. If it is an integer, m into m minus 1. That's what I already previously covered, right? M into m minus 1. Suppose the previous same example, if they are trying to test you in same Poisson distribution, use the same technique to identify. If there is an additive property, whatever the additive property values are given, m1 plus m2, because it is a uniparametric, there is no biparametric equation. So we will simply go with m1 plus m2. Next, here there is a Poisson distribution is the distribution of improbable events or the distribution of rare events. Very simple. I will tell you one thing. The number of flights flying in a day in the world is large numbers, but getting crashed over the air is very small. The trials are infinite, but the probability of getting that crashing, that is very low. So it is a Poisson distribution example. Like this, I think so. There is having 3 more examples in your study material. Okay, if I remember, I can easily tell you because long back I have taken that batch. So for the past 2 months, I am not taking that batch. So I am not getting used to it. So remember that. Then third one, normal distribution. What is a normal distribution? It is a symmetric distribution. It is a continuous distribution. It is based on probability density function. It starts from minus infinity. It ends in plus infinity. It includes of any real numbers. What is the area? A is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Minus infinity to plus infinity is 1. Minus infinity to plus infinity or 0 to infinity. I will tell you one thing. Here change it to minus infinity to 0. A is equal to A minus infinity to 0 or 0 to plus infinity will give you 0.5, 0.5. If I add 0, 0, if I cancel minus infinity to plus infinity, 1 is my answer. So that's how it is came. Same, it is also unimodal. Okay, it is also unimodal. This curve is known as bell-shaped curve. It is a symmetrical curve. The tail will never touch the x-axis. You may get a theory question. Which curve will never touch the x-axis? The symmetric curve will never touch the will never touch that x-axis, or it will the bell-shaped curve will never touch the x-axis. So it starts from minus infinity to plus infinity. Mu minus 3 sigma, mu minus 2 sigma, mu minus sigma, mu plus sigma, mu plus 2 sigma, mu plus 3 sigma. Till this point, all this point is 0.5. Till this point, all this point is 0.5. When I meet at a mu point, all mean median mode remains same. Okay, whenever they come across with mu minus sigma, mu plus sigma, the probability value, the values which they give is 68.26. Mu minus 2 sigma, mu plus 2 sigma, the value is 95.44. Mu minus 3 sigma, mu plus 3 sigma, it is 99.74. Okay, remember these three values. If you want, you can take the screenshot as well. Okay, remember this before getting into your exam hall as well. So here the x is equal to random variable. It is x is equal to random variable. Z is equal to a normal variate x minus mu divided by sigma. Z is known as a normal variate x minus mu divided by sigma. What is the point of inflation here? Here the point of inflation is mu minus sigma, mu plus sigma. In this, you may get one numerical question as well. Point of inflation is equal to mu minus sigma plus mu plus sigma. What is the standard normal curve? Under standard normal curve, mu is equal to 0, sigma is equal to 1. Under standard normal curve, mu is equal to 0, standard deviation is equal to 1. What is the point of inflation? If you substitute 0 over there, you will get minus 1 and plus 1 is the answer. If you substitute these values over there, the point of inflation is minus 1 plus 1. Very simple. If you substitute 0, minus 1 will be, you will get it. If you substitute 0 over, you will get plus 1. So point of inflation along with standard normal curve, it is points of inflation is minus 1 plus 1. How you can find minus 1 plus 1? It is mu minus sigma plus mu plus sigma. Okay, what is probability density function? Because normal distribution is based on probability density function. This probability density function, f of x is equal to, you may get a numerical question based on this as well. Okay, this f of x is equal to 1 divided by sigma into 2 pi. Remember the sigma into 2 pi into e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu divided by sigma in the whole square. This causes only we written as z. Okay, that's what the normal variate we say. It is normal variate square. That is x minus mu divided by sigma. Here mu is equal to mean. Whenever you come across with mean, whenever you come across with kind of problem under the normal distribution, mean is nothing but a mu. Okay, x minus mu divided by sigma is a normal variate, that is z. Okay, remember this, it starts from minus infinity, less than x and less infinity should be there. Then only this answer will be possible. You may get this kind of data will be given that you think so. Set B problem, you are having one more problem on that. Refer that problem as well. Parameters are mu and sigma square, so it is a biparametric. Okay, parameters are mu and sigma squared, so it is a biparametric. To remember this, we have already covered 10 is to 12 is to 15. QD is equal to MD is equal to SD. 10 is to 12 is to 15. If they ask QD, if they ask QD, what you need to do? Q1 you need to find out. Q3 you need to find out. How you can find out a Q1 and Q3? Mu minus 0.675 sigma. Q3 is equal to mu plus 0.675 sigma. What is QD? QD is nothing but 0.675. This if you divide that value, you will get the value. What is MD? 0.8 of sigma. That is 4 by 5. 4 by 5 of standard deviation is nothing but MD. That's what 4 by 5 of standard deviation is nothing but your MD. What is an additive property? Whenever there is a two additive properties given like this, you need to add this two additive property mu1 plus mu2 and root of standard deviation square plus standard deviation 2 square you need to do. Okay, remember this additive property. Methods to fit the normal curve. It is an ordinate curve or it is an area method. Normal distribution is a limiting case of binomial distribution. Normal distribution is a limiting case of binomial. They may ask you a question. They may frame a question like this. Which is a limiting case of binomial? Which is a limiting case of normal distribution? The answer is binomial distribution. The answer is n is a large and n is extends to infinity. P and Q are equal where the probability is very small. Where the probability is very small. When the normal distribution is a limiting case of Poisson distribution, z is equal to x minus m divided by root m. It is nothing but x minus lambda divided by lambda, root lambda. This is also another way to write. Mean is equal to variance. Mean is equal to variance in a Poisson distribution where sigma increases indefinitely. Next, this you cannot study. This you can omit that part and study this. Total area under normal curve is equal to 1. That is root of integral of plus infinity to minus infinity f of x into d of x is equal to 1, where integral of x power n into d of x is equal to x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus c. You may test a problem. This is a set C problem. Try to avoid that problem. Next, we will go with correlation part. What is the correlation part? Correlation means this is an association. What is the moving in same direction? What is the positive correlation? Moving in the same direction. That it is a direct proportional. What is moving in opposite direction? It is a negative correlation. When there is a no correlation, when there is a nonsense correlation, or when there is a spurious correlation, it is nonsense correlation. For example, the correlation between shoe and a food. Not at all related, not at all associated. So it is nonsense correlation or no relation, spurious correlation. So positive correlation, rainfall and yield. So when the rainfall when the rainfall is high, the yield will become high. When the rainfall is low, we will facing somehow issues in the yielding part very low. So at the positive correlation, it is always lesser values. That is 0 is less than R is less than or equal to 1. When there is a negative correlation, when the temperature increases, sale of woolen clothes decreases. I will tell you the same example. I will tell you one more thing. When the temperature increases, sale of cool drinks increases. That is positive correlation. Temperature increases, sale of woolen clothes decreases. That is negative correlation. I will frame the another example over there. Whenever the temperature decreases, sale of woolen clothes increases. That is also whenever the temperature is decreases, whenever the sale of woolen clothes will increase, obviously, because we will getting into a cold condition. So it is a negative correlation. When there is a indirect proportion, it is a negative. When there is a directly proportion, it is positive. No relation. No relation is a size of shirt or an income. So R is equal to 0 here. Negative correlation -1 lesser than R less than 0. Less than or equal to R less than 0. It is an indifferent hence of product of moments, correlation, rank correlation coefficient, or coefficient of correlation, coefficient of concurrent deviation. What is bivariate data? Data are collected in two variables simultaneously. Corresponding frequency distribution is derived from it, known as bivariate frequency distribution. You may get a theory question. Corresponding frequency distribution derived from it is known as bivariate frequency distribution, also called joint frequency distribution or two-way classification. Sum of the cell frequencies Fij or 0. This is an additional question bank, I think so. That's how whenever I was studying that problem, that may be confusing for you. So that I have keeping as an important thing. Then seventh one, two types of univariate distributions are there. One is marginal. Whenever marginal comes, simply put 2. Whenever conditional comes, it is P plus Q or M plus N. That's it. Whenever marginal distribution comes, it is 2. Whenever conditional distribution comes, it is P plus Q or M plus N. They may test you X plus Y, M plus N, A plus B, like that. Okay, examples of positive correlation. What are the examples of positive correlation? Height and weight, yield and rainfall, profit and investment. When the profit increases, when the investment increases, profit also increases. When the profit increases, I will invest more on that. So profit increases, investment increases. Price and quantity supplies. This everything is there inside your study material, inside your additional question bank. Here I am consolidating it. Okay, examples of negative correlation. Price and the demand having a negative correlation. Profit of an insurance company and the number of claims. It is a negative correlation. Profit for the insurance company is high when the number of claims is low. So it is a negative correlation. Then examples of no relation, shoe size and an intelligence. What is there is an association? There is no association. There is no correlation. There is no interrelated. So it is no relation or spurious relation. Next, measures of correlation. Measures of correlation is divided into basically 4 parts. One is scatter diagram. Scatter diagram I am not going to cover in depth. Poisson coefficient of product moments. Poisson coefficient of correlation, or it is also known as product of moments, or spaceman rank correlation coefficient. Then coefficient of concurrent deviation. If the examiner want to test you differently, they will go and test you for coefficient of concurrent deviation. If the tested want to go with the past 10, they may test you to spaceman rank correlation coefficient. Okay, in the spaceman rank correlation coefficient also rank is repeated, rank is not repeated is there. Remember that as well. Then come to first one, scatter diagram. Scatter diagram is nothing but your positive relation, lower left to upper right. Lower left, it is like lower left to upper right is positive correlation. Negative correlation, upper left to lower right. Upper left to lower right is a negative correlation. This and all comes to your mind in your examination. Positive, lower left to upper right. Negative correlation, upper left to lower right. Zero correlation, equally distributed without any duplicity. It is no correlation. Okay. Next, Pearson's product moment. What is the best method? Pearson's product moments is the best method when two variables is linear. Then correlation of x comma y is equal to whenever the given variable are in the form of x minus x bar, y minus y bar, you will go with moment formula. That is sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by n. Whenever the variables are given like this, summation x is given, summation y is given, n is given, and like this xy is given, summation x square is given, summation y square is given, somehow this kind of data is given, you will go with the variate formula. What is the variable formula? Summation xy divided by n minus summation x by n into summation y by n. Okay, next, there is an alternative formula. Whenever the given, this value itself they have given, how you can find out the value? Covariance of a coefficient, correlations of x comma y divided by sigma x into sigma y, r is equal to, suppose they will given in a form of variance. What you need to do, correlation of x comma y divided by root of variance of x into root of variance of y, where root of variance of y into root of variance of y, root of variance of x into root of variance of y. R is equal to sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by root of summation x minus x bar the square into root of summation y minus y bar the whole square. This is for moments. When there is a variables is available, you will go with an R. R is nothing but an independent factor of correlation. Okay, n into summation xy minus summation x into summation y divided by root of n into summation x square minus summation x the whole square into root of n into summation y square minus summation the y square. It is known as variable. Whenever this kind of data is given, you will go with the formula. Okay, Spearman rank correlation formula. It is divided by capital R. So it is for qualitative data. There should be some measurement. No, for that there is a person called as Spearman will come and he is given some rank like intelligence test, beauty contest and all. Spearman rank correlation will be helpful. Intelligence contest, intelligence grades, everything. This will be helpful. So what is the formula? The formula is nothing but case 1. If there is a different ranks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The ranks are not merging. Some person are not getting to second rank in 3 students getting, fourth rank 5 students getting. Like this is not there. Then it is known as different ranks. So at that time summation D should be 0. R is equal to 1 minus 6 into summation D square divided by n into n square 1. Find this value and then subtract that one value. For our students, they can do this sum in single step in a calculator. For this sum, we have already uploaded in the Abhayasa series. I think in a part number 6 or 7 I have uploaded. Just remember the sum that you will remember the calculator tricks in this formula. Where D, how I can find the D? It is rank 1 minus rank 2. We will give 2 kind of data. From that rank 1 will give, rank 2 will give, and then based on the data, we will subtract the data. I need to get D value is 0. If the D value is 0, here the D value may think 0. Here the answer is summation D square. Summation D square should not be 0. Then it is not your correct answer. Only summation D should be 0. Summation D square should not be 0. Okay. Remember like this, whenever 10 ranks are given, whenever 10 kind of participants is given, n is given, it should be 990 only. 10 square is 100. 100 minus 1 is 99. 99 into 10 is 990. Remember like this, it will be helpful for you to find out the denominator quickly. Okay. Whenever there is a repeated ranks, whenever the repeated ranks arises, we'll go with some correction factor. That is nothing but 1 minus, what is the first correction factor? 1 by 12 into summation m cube minus m. What is 1 minus 6 into summation d square plus cf divided by n into n square minus 1. Here the cf is nothing but a correction factor. Correction factor is nothing but 1 by 12 into sigma into summation into m cube minus m. If the rank are in reverse order, the Spearman rank correlation coefficient is -1. Remember this theory. Many of them will stuck in the spot. They do the sum and then they go with the answer. If the rank correlation are in reverse order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like this, the Spearman rank correlation coefficient should be -1. I am spitting off all the tricks to you. Okay. Kindly remember this. Concurrent deviation method. Concurrent deviation will be denoted by RC is plus or minus root of plus or minus 2c minus m divided by m. M is equal to n minus 1. C is equal to number of concurrent deviation. If C is 0, C is nothing but number of concurrent deviation. Here is only we will check with the signs. Plus or minus sign only we will check. Okay, that's what the concurrent deviation part is. Why I need to worry with the numbers? We will only worry with plus or minus sign. If C is 0, R is equal to -1. If C is equal to capital N, R is equal to 1. If C is equal to n by 2, R is equal to 0. Remember the 3 ticks. If you want it, you can take a screenshot. If C is equal to 0, R is equal to -1. If C is equal to n, R is equal to 1. If C is equal to n by 2, R is equal to 0. This method is completely easiest method. Okay, now when 2c minus m is greater than 0, it is plus sign. Inside and outside the root also you need to put the same value. 2c minus m is less than 0. Inside, outside, the final answer is going to be negative only. You only see 2c minus m. If 2c minus m is positive, my answer is going to be positive. If 2c minus m is negative, my answer is going to be negative. That's it. Okay, then come to properties. The coefficient of correlation is a unit-free measure. It is an independent of origin. It is not at all affected by independent of origin, but is dependent on sign of change of scale. Correlation is always lies between -1 and +1, including both limiting values, including -1 and +1, it is lies between, and it also includes your -1 and +1 as well. Okay, what is the to remember? If they ask coefficient of determination, it is R square. How you can find R square? In any of the respective formula of R, you find out the R and then you will square it. That is coefficient of determination. Coefficient of non-determination, 1 minus R square. What is an R square formula? That is an alternative for the R square. That is explained variance by total variance. If they give an explained variance, then what is R square? The alternative formula, 1 minus unexplained variance divided by total variance. 1 minus unexplained variance divided by total variance. Fourth one, coefficient of alienation. This may be different for you. Coefficient of alienation is equal to root of n minus r square. That is root of non-determination. Percentage of explained variance is equal to r square into 100. Percentage of unexplained variance is equal to n minus r square into 100. Standard deviation r, that is standard error. Standard error is equal to 1 minus r square divided by root n. Standard error is equal to 1 minus r square divided by root n. What is the probable error? Remember this number. 0.6745 into standard error. Remember this number for probable error, 0.6745 into standard error, or 2 by 3 of standard error. Remember any of this, 2 by 3 of standard error or 0.6745 of standard error. I will suggest you to remember 0.6745 of standard error. If y is equal to a plus bx, if y is equal to a plus bx, when r is equal to +1, when b is greater than 0, r is equal to +1. When b is less than 0, r is equal to -1. Next step. B of x plus y is correlated. Then you will say b of x plus b of y plus 2 of when a plus b formula pa. A square plus b square plus 2ab, no, the same kind of thing. Variance of x plus y is equal to variance of x plus variance of y plus 2 covariance of x plus y. Okay. Whenever it is an uncorrelated, variance of x plus y is equal to variance of x plus variance of y. Whenever it is variance of x minus y is also variance of x plus variance of y, it is a property given in your study material. Next, we'll go with a regression analysis. Many of them are feeling difficulty in the regression analysis part. Regression analysis is simply nothing but an estimation of prediction. What is going to happen, I'm going to predict it. That is known as regression analysis. It is a mathematical relationship. It is an average relationship. It is a method of least square. It is dependent on two variables, that is x and y. If x is independent, if y is dependent. If x is given, y need to be fine. At the time, x will be an independent item, y will be an dependent item. If they given x, if they given y, it is an independent item. If you need to find the x value, it will become dependent. It will be interchangeable. Independent. Next one. Forming a regression equation. Forming a regression equation is divided into two. One is independent, one is dependent. One is y on x and x on y. What is y on x? Y depends on x. Why are these x on y? X depends on y. So y depends on x. We will write that y minus y bar into byx. Here the regression coefficient will be denoted by byx into x minus x bar. What is x on y? X minus x bar equal to bxy into y minus y bar, where b is the regression coefficient. Okay, y is equal to a plus bx, where x is equal to a plus bx. It is because it is y on x, right? So x is y depends on x. Here x on y. So it is x depends on y. So y equal to a plus bx. Here x is equal to a plus by. Remember this. Kindly remember this. A comma b are constants and also regression parameters. A, b are constants and it can also be treated as regression parameters. Okay, this may be a question you may try to find out. Steps to find a regression equation. First step, find x bar, y bar using elimination method or using simultaneous equation solving method. Okay, then second step, finding out of regression coefficient. To finding out of the step 2, we are having different formulas like what we are having in Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Okay. Whatever the method, y on x is there or x on y is there, there's the same format is going to be proceeded, but it is only merely a representation of a denominator change should be happen. Okay, first let's take x on y and then we'll go to y on x and then we'll move on to x on y. Suppose yx is byx is given. Covariance of x comma y divided by what is x is there, divided by sigma square. If this formula will, if they given covariance value, if they given x minus x bar value, y minus y bar value is directly given. Okay. Summation x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by summation x minus x bar the whole square. This is the formula because why? Because it is y on x. Then suppose you may have a doubt. Suppose sir, they have mentioned anything. They give you simply the data of x, y, z. Any of the formula you can use. Any of the formula you can use. Okay. n into summation xy minus summation x into summation y divided by n into summation x square minus summation x the whole square. This is what? Because all the denominator should be in the x because it is y on x. If it is x on y, all the denominator should be on y. Okay, what is the second variable that should be in your denominator? Because y is dependent on x is an independent variable, so it should be on the denominator. Very simple part. It should be a dependent divided by independent part. That's it. Okay, that's what you will find out here. R is equal to sigma y by sigma x. Why? Because y it is on the numerator because x is depending on, sorry, y is depending on x. So y should be on the numerator, x should be on the denominator. The same is vice versa. You can easily remember. If you want to take some screenshot, just take a screenshot of this step 2. It may be helpful for you. I hope it is done. Now come to third part. What is the third step? Y minus y bar. You will find all the values. Now y minus y bar value is already given. X minus y bar value given. Now you will find out this what you will find it in this step. Once you find out, you can easily equate the equation. R xy is equal to R yx. That is correlation will be equal. But regression coefficient will not equal. Come to properties. Byx is not equal to bxy. If R is equal to 0, both regression coefficient is 0. If R is equal to 0, R is nothing but correlation. Correlation coefficient is 0. Both regression coefficient will become 0. R and two regression coefficient always carry same sign. R is equal to GM between Byx and Bxy. R is correlation coefficient. R square is equal to Bxy into Byx. R is equal to plus or minus root of Byx into Bxy. If Byx or Bxy are opposite sign, then data are inconsistent of R. R is an imaginary. When both are opposite sign, one is plus, one is minus, then the data, given data is inconsistent and R is become imaginary. R will become a negative value. Okay. The regression coefficients remains unchanged due to shift of forging, but change due to change of scale. So it is only not affected by shift of origin. It is affected by shift of change of scale. Okay. If you want, you can remember this. U is equal to ax plus b, b is equal to cy plus d. If they ask you byx is equal to, if they ask you bvu is given, bvu is given, byx is equal to bvu, c by a you need to put. When uv is given and bxy you need to find out, you will take the buv value and you will do with a by c. Remember this if you know it. And then u is equal to 3x plus 5 is given. B is equal to minus 2y plus 7 is given. BVU is given. They are asking us to find BXY. So BXY is equal to BVU into, here what I need to do? BVU into C by A. What is here C by A? Here you will take it as C. This is your A variable. So it is C minus 2 divided by 3. So the answer is minus 1.533. Next, when R is equal to 0, remember this, you may get one property based question on this correlation part. When R is equal to 0, Bxy is equal to Byx is equal to 0. When X is equal to X bar, Y is equal to Y bar. Then regression lines are perpendicular to each other. The angle between them is 90 degree. Whenever the angle between them is perpendicular, when R is equal to 0, we'll have a perpendicular line of 90 degree. Whenever there is a perpendicular line, we'll get the answer is R is equal to 0. When R is plus 1 or minus 1, or when you are come across with identical lines, or when we come across with coincide lines, Byx is equal to 1 by Bxy, the reverse of it. Okay, angle between them is 0. When it is a positive value or when it is a negative value, angle between them is 0. When they are having R is equal to 0, we are having a perpendicular that is a 90 degree. Byx into Bxy is equal to R is less than or equal to unity. Is less than or equal to unity. This fourth one is an interesting question. The examiner may try to test you for sure. Analyzing the regression equation problem. If they're given two regression lines and they are asking you what is B, what is Y on X, or what is X on Y, what you need to do? First, find the means by solving a simultaneous equation by getting X and Y. This may be a one kind of problem. And identify the equation, what is Y on X and X on Y. And then regression coefficient Byx into Bxy. And R is equal to plus or minus root of Bxy into Byx. For this you can easily done. But for this step 2, we are going with this part. Okay. Finding the slopes of B1 and B2. You will given two equation. On the two equation, find out what is minus coefficient of X divided by coefficient of Y. We used to say it is minus A by B. Okay. A from the first equation and b from the second equation. Minus coefficient of, in the given equation, let's say, I don't want to try to confuse you. 2x plus 3y minus 5 is equal to 0 is given. In the another equation, 3x plus 7y minus 7 equal to 0 is given. This equation, slope is minus coefficient of x minus 2 divided by coefficient of y is 3. If it is minus coefficient of, in the second equation, minus coefficient of x is 3, coefficient of y is 7. What if here my answer is 3x minus 7y? Then it will become minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. What is the coefficient of y? Minus 7. Why here we have not put minus? Because at that time it is plus. So minus minus gets cancelled. It will become 3 by 7. The step 1 is over. Come to step 2. Put it in the absolute value. Put it in modulus. Find b1 and b2. Compare b1 and b2. Remember this. Whichever is smaller is byx. Whichever is smaller is byx. If which is greatest reciprocal, greatest numbers reciprocal is bxy. That original slopes to be taken always. Original slopes to be taken always. This 3-step approach, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this 3-step approach. Next. You go with probable error. What is a probable error? The limit of correlation coefficient is given by P is equal to R plus or minus probable error. R plus or minus probable error. Where P is equal to correlation coefficient of that population. Where R is less than PV, no evidence of correlation. Remember this property. R is less than probable error. There is no evidence of correlation. When R is greater than 6 PE, when the R is greater than 6 probable error, 6 times more than the probable error, correlation coefficient is certain. When R lies between -1 and +1, when -1 less than R is less than or equal to 1, -1 less than or equal to R less than or equal to 1, then probable error never negative. Then probable error will be never negative. Next, we'll start with an easy chapter that is called index number. Index number, what is meant by index number? It is always based on samples. It is a special kind of average. It is expressed as a percentage. If nothing is mentioned about the base year, you should always consider index number of the base year as 100. Okay, basically it's divided into 3 types. Basically, we used to say it is 2 types, but we will say it is a 3 types. That is price index number, quantity index number, and a value index number. What is value? Value is nothing but price into quantity. What is price index number? It is an indicator of P. Quantity index number will be denoted by Q. Okay, what is P naught? P naught is the price of the base year. What is P1? Price of the current year. What is Q naught? Quantity of the base year. What is Q1? Quantity of the current year. 0 is denoted by base year. 1 is denoted by the current year. What is PQ? P0, Q0. That is price in the quantity of the base year. P1, Q1, price and quantity of the current year. What is mean by I01? I is nothing but an index number of the current year on base year. 01 means it is not base year on the current year. It is base 1 based on 0. 1 based on 0. I01 in the index number means index number of current year on the base year. I10 means index number of the base year on current year. B01, B means value. Value index of 01. 0 means 1 on 0. 10 means 0 on 1. Slightly change it. 01 means 1 on 0. 10 means 0 on 1. That's it. Base year depends on current year. 10 means base year depends on current year. 01 means current year depends on base year. Index number basically divided into price relative and link relative. Link relative we will see it later. In the next part of the running through, we will see it. But price relative is the first priority we will give it. Many of the questions will depend on price relative. Price relative method, here the base year is fixed. Link relative method, base year will always keep on changing. Base year is going to be a preceding year of the current year. If I say 2005 data, it is 2004 is my base year. If I say 2009, 2008 my base year. Here the price relative base year is fixed, but in the link relative base year is not fixed. It keeps on changing. So that one it is called linking. Okay. Construction of a construction index number. How you can go? If they're given without weights, we will go with one formula. If they give with weights, we'll go with another formula. If it is an unweighted problem, if they are trying to test you simple aggregative method, come across with price index. Always you will find 0, 1. That is the base year on 1 you will find out. That is current year depends on the base year you will find out. P1 by P0 into 100. That's what current year depends on the previous year. Don't apply the correlation technique over here. You will become wrong. Okay, quantity index. Current year by base year into 100. P1 by P0 into 100. Q1 by Q0 into 100. Here, don't forget to add the summation part. Okay, next simple aggregative of average price index. Average means something we need to divide from the total value. So arithmetic mean is equal to summation I by n. What is I? I is nothing but P1 by P0 into 100. Summation I, you should have it in the calculator. This calculator tricks we have uploaded in a series called Abhayasa series. Kindly refer that video. Okay, GM is equal to anti-log of summation log I plus 1. Log I by n. Here it is a difficult to compute. There is no maximum sums depends on that. There is only one illustration problem is there. Try to omit it because we may not have that much time to do anti-log problem. So it is very important role in the construction, which is most important. Geometric mean is most important in while constructing index number, but it is difficult to compute. Under weighted aggregative method. Weighted aggregative method is divided into two, price index and quantity index. When the weights are given, at the time to find out price, weight is my quantity. At the time of finding out of, here it is quantity. At the time of finding out of quantity, weight is my price. Okay, the same thing. P01 is given. Okay, P01 is given. So it is P1, wait, it is, just a minute. P01 is given, right? It is summation P1 weight divided by summation P0 weight into 100, and the Q1 summation Q1 weight divided by summation U0 weight into 100. Okay, next, weighted average relative method. Arithmetic mean, this is a most important formula. Kindly remember this. Arithmetic mean is equal to P01. P01 is equal to summation IW divided by W. It is also known as general index number. It is also known as cost of living index number. If this is the formula you need to use. Where what is an I? I is nothing but P1 by P0 into 100. Okay, next, geometric mean. Geometric mean under is nothing but anti-log of summation W divided by summation W log I divided by summation W. Then weighted aggregative method. Weighted aggregative method is further divided into based on the authors or based on the statistician. It is a last place index method. Last place index method is also known as cost of living index or wholesale price index number. You can use the same formula. That is summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 into Q0 into 100. What is passage price index number? Last pair will depend on the base year. Passage will depend on the current year quantity. So P1 into Q1 divided by P0 into Q1 into 100. Remember this, don't confuse this. L base year, BL, LB like this. Okay, passage is dependent on the current year. PC, PC like this. PC means it's not personal computer. It's passage current year. Passage current year. Last pair base year. Remember anything, you can easily remember it. Fisher, it is a geometric mean of last place and passage, root of L into P. What is Darvish and Bowley say? Darvish and Bowley say, I am not going with geometric mean approach, which is my best measure. Arithmetic mean is my best average. So I'm going with average method. That is L plus P divided by 2. Last pair plus passage divided by 2. That's what Darvish and Bowley say. What is Marshall and Edgeworth say? They say, I am going to compare everything. I'm going to put it in a multipliers as well as in arithmetic mean part. That's what summation P1 Q1, because they are comparing current year base year data. Summation P1 Q0 plus summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 plus summation P0 Q1. Because the numerator should be added, denominator should be added, and then find out the value. That's what Marshall Edgeworth. If you remember the last pair and passage, it is more than sufficient to crack Fisher, Darvish, Bowley, Marshall, and Edgeworth in the examination hall itself. Now come to cost of living index number. Cost of living index number is also known as wholesale price index, consumer price index, or general price index. At the deflationary situation, purchasing power we will calculate. At the time, reciprocal of the cost of living index number we will find out. If index number is given I and W, it is cost of living index number is equal to summation IW divided by summation W. Cost of living index number is equal to summation IW divided by W. If price and quantities are given, if price and quantities are given, then cost of living index number is summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 into 100. That is nothing but your last pairs. That's nothing but your last price. What is the purchasing power of ₹1? It is 100 divided by CLI into 100. How we can find the CLI? It is nothing but last price method. Or the weight is given summation IW divided by summation W. How you can find the real income problem? For purchasing income, real income, you will have a book back problem. In additional question bank also you have a problem. Refer that problem. Surely there will be a one question on that. They want to test you somehow logically an index number, because 5 questions can be tested from index and number as well. So it is going to be a scoring part. Real income is equal to income or wage divided by index number into 100. That's what the formula is. Then Here we will find it out of fixed based index number or chain based index number. What is fixed based of chain based index number? For the first year, it remains same. For the second year onwards, it will get changed. What is fixed based index number of the current year or for the any year? What you need to do? Chain based index of the current year you will take into fixed based index of the preceding year you will take. You will divide it by 100. Or whenever you come across with chain-based index of the current year, what you need to do? FBA of current year divided by FB of previous year into 100. This is C. FB of current year divided by FB of previous year into 100 to find out this. And then you will go and approach this, you will get the answer. Okay. Next, yes. Next, come to link index of relative. Next index, link index for relative method. Now we have find out the price relative. Now come to link relative. CBA is equal to link index of the current year into CBA of the preceding year into 100 to find out the chain based index. What is a link relative? This is the one thing you may test in numericals. They may not test you in fixed base index. They may not test you in chain based index. It's having only one or two problems there. But link relative is the price of current year divided by price of previous year into 100. Price of current year divided by price of previous year into 100. Then always start with 1 year preceding to the given years from which you are required to calculate the chain index. In that year, the preceding year to take the both link relative and the chain index to be 100. I don't want to try to confuse you by taking this concept as well. Try to avoid it at the last minute preparation. Now, focus on the splicing index number. What is the splicing index number? Converting a discontinued series into continuing series. That's what the splicing means. Okay, converting discontinued series into continuous series, you may get a theory-based MCQ. Now, you will given with the year 1, year 2 data. Okay. Year 2010 data is given, index number is given, index number of 2012 is given. These two values are given, but this values is missing. Here, these three values are given, these values are missing. Whatever you are doing on the current year on the top of the table of the current year is known as forward splicing. Whatever you are doing it on the base year or the previous year at the bottom of the term, that's known as backward splicing. The intersecting point between two terms is known as overlapping year or overlapping series. Based on the overlapping series or overlapping year, we will find out the data. What we can find out? We need to find out the index number, right? What is the overlapping? 100 is there. What you are going to do? 2012 is there. So what do you do? 100 into 100 divided by 112. 100 into 100 divided by 112. If it is 2011, they are asking for index number. What you need to do? 100 into 115 divided by 112. Okay, because it is very simple. If it is an 100, at the time it was 122. When it was 115, how I can find out the value? That's it. 100. At the time it was 122. So at 115, what is an index number of the current year? That's what I'm going to find out. So suppose if it is a backwards splicing, what I need to do? For 122, I am having 100. Then what is for 108? At the time, it is 122 by 100 into 108. That's what the backwards splicing, the reverse calculation of it. That's what backwards splicing is. You may get a question. If you remember, it is good. If you not, it is completely fine. The factor which is multiplied by the such conversion is called conversion multiplier. Remember this. You may get a theory-based question. Many of them will forget, but you will easily crack it. That is conversion multiplier. Okay, here are some of the nodes which you come across with index number. Okay, first one. Note, geometric mean is the best average in the construction of the index number because without the geometric mean, we could not able to find out. But practically, arithmetic mean will be used because geometric mean is difficult to compute because it is depends on the anti-log. How I can find out the anti-log? It will take some time. So I will use the arithmetic mean in the general practice. Next, Marshall-Edwards index number is an approximation to fixed index number. This is a theory which I picked from your addition question bank. Remember this, Marshall-Edwards index number is an approximation to the Fisher-Ideal index number. Method of relatives are also known as arithmetic mean method. Method of relatives are also known as arithmetic mean method. Index number are always unit free. Index number will not, it is a completely unit free. There is no measurement. There is no measurement at all. Next, simple index is computed for one variable. Composite is from two or more variables. Simple index number is computed for one variable. When there is more than two variables, we'll go the index number which we are trying to find out is known as a composite index number. Composite index number. Most index numbers are composite in nature because we are not only dependent on one variable, we are dependent on many variables, many years. So it is a most index numbers are composite index number. They may try to confuse you in this part. Price relatives are pure numbers. Price relatives are pure numbers. Then Then the note is weighted geometric mean of relative formula satisfy time reversal test. Weighted geometric mean of relative formula satisfy time reversal test. The factor reversal test is satisfied by simple aggregative index number. Factor reversal test is satisfied by simple aggregative index number. Purchasing power of money is a reciprocal of price index number. Purchasing power of the money is a reciprocal of price index number. Cost of living index number are always used to find out the real wages by the process of deflating the index number. Okay, now come to test of adequacy. In the test of adequacy, basically have 4 tests. That is one unit test. Unit test is unit free. Unit free. All the index numbers satisfy this test except simple aggregative price index. That is an unweighted simple aggregative price index will not satisfy this unit test. Time reversal test. What is the time reversal test? Index number 01 is equal to 10. That is equal to 1. That is ignore 100 over here while calculating it. It is should be satisfied. Remember the word satisfied. Time reversal test is satisfied by simple aggregative of price, simple geometric mean of price relative, Marshall and Edgeworth, Fisher ideal number. Fisher ideal index number. Factor reversal test. Factor reversal test is you will interchange the factors. Okay, P01. Here time means you will keep prices constant. 01, 10. That's what time is. Factor means P01 is remain same. Same way, you will add one more factor called Q. Q01 will get. Okay, P01 into Q01, if you take the rule, it is P1 by Q1 into P0 into Q0. P1 by Q1 into P1 divided by P0 into Q0. That should only satisfy under Fisher ideal index number. This only satisfied by Fisher ideal index number. This only satisfied by Fisher ideal index number, which is one factor reversal test. Circular test. Circular test is an extension of time reversal. It keep on changing. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 like this. 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3 up to the point is going. The final value is going to get 1. This test should be satisfied by 3 things. Simple aggregative of prices, weighted aggregative of prices with fixed weights, simple geometric mean of price relative. Okay, if you know all the tricks and tips, it is more than sufficient to score you 70 plus marks in this paper. At least bare minimum 60 plus is there. Because many of them are feeling difficulty. It's not about that the question paper, it is only about the time. You may say this is a secondary part of the question paper because the question is in the mixture form. First question may be statistics, second question may be from mathematics, third question may be from logical reasoning. But I will tell you, if they ask a first question, statistics, next question also some statistics, third question statistics, fourth question will be statistics. Then only they will logical reasoning, logical reasoning, logical reasoning, logical reasoning. Then they will go with max. Then they will go start. They may not try to test you statistics, logical, mathematics. It will become too much difficult for me to do. Okay, because examiner also don't want to test you like that. Okay, they may try to test you as much as simpler. But if you know one thing, in all the papers, it is going to be 60 marks is going to be an easy. You can take it within a matter of 1 hour or 1 hour, 10 minutes. The remaining 40 questions will play a major role. In the 60, if you don't have any that much of concept clarity, you will face a suffer and you will commit a mistake. Okay. Next part, deflating time series. What is meant deflated time series? Deflated value is equal to current value divided by price index of the current year, or the current value is into base year divided by current year. P0 by P1 into current value. Okay, this price index number using simple geometric mean of n relatives is given by, kindly remember this formula. Okay, they may give you the exact formula. Log I0 on n, that is current year, is equal to 2 plus 1 divided by n summation log Pn by P0. Okay, Pn by P0. That's what whenever the price index using simple geometric mean of the n relatives is given, you will use the formula. They will ask a direct question, you will directly write it. Okay. Now, time value of money, we will see it later. Okay. Once we complete the statistic part, we will come back and see. Okay. Our first aim to complete the statistics part. This theoretical distribution we have already covered. I will just quickly go through. You may get some across important points over there. I'll just give you a quick overview. If there is anything new, okay, I think there is no new things over there. And I want to try to give you on this diagram previously, which was made. If there is a negatively skewed, it was slightly on the over top on the left hand side. If it is a positively skewed, it will be on the slower on the left hand side. That's what the Q is less than P. Here it is Q is greater than P. Next, I think so. This everything we have covered. This is also we have covered. Yeah. Under continuous distribution, we have covered this part, everything. Yes, we have covered everything. This is also covered, right? Now, come to our last set chapter. Sit straight, don't slouch it. Ready for the last final discussion of that part. First one, probability. What is a probability? A probability, you will say it is divided into two parts. Basically, as I already told, probability is divided into two: subjective concept, objective concept. Subjective is like a management problem. It is based on that which is not in our syllabus. Objective problem is only in our syllabus. On that first thing, what is a random experiment? Random experiment is any action which gives you one or more result is known as an experiment. That experiment is known as a random experiment. What is an outcome? Each result of an experiment is known as an outcome of an experiment. What is a sample space? Set of all possible outcomes is known as sample space. What is tossing a coin? If you give, they will give you a question. Tossing a coin, h into t. What is tossing a coin? H into t. You will get a sample space of 2. What is tossing a 2 coin? HHTT, THHT. So you will get a sample space of 4. What is this? This is known as Pascal triangle. 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 1, 4, 4, 1. Just a minute, wait. 1, 4, 4, 6, 4, 1, 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. Like this is a Pascal triangle. For this, we have already uploaded under the probability Abhayasa series. We have uploaded 5 questions, I think so, for probability and random variable 5 questions we have uploaded. Kindly go through that also. Okay, kindly please go through that part. Okay, and tossing a coin. What is a tossing a coin? N of sample space is equal to 2. Tossing a 2 coins, sample space is 4. Tossing 3 coins, sample space is 8. Whenever you come across tossing 6 coins, it is 2 power 6. Whenever you come across with tossing 2 coins, 2 power 4 is 4. 4 sample space you will easily get. Tossing 3 coins, 2 power 2 cube. 2 cube is 8. 8 is a sample space. Don't even you remember to these things. Okay, this sum, it is an easy problem. It is not try to confuse one heads, two heads. When there is at least 2 heads, at most 2 heads, 3 tails, or no heads. Like this problem we have already covered in Abhayasa series. Kindly go and refer this. It will at least take 5 minutes of your time. Okay, throwing a die. Throwing a die is throwing a single die. A die means throwing a die. Sample space is 6. Throwing a 2 dice, it is nothing but 6 square. Throwing a 3 die is nothing but 6 cube. Throwing a 4 dice is nothing but 6 cube. 6 power 4. Okay, 6 square is 36. 6 cube is nothing but 216. I think so. Okay, next one. Is it correct? 6 cube is 216, right? Those who are attending this live sessions. It's 216, right? Yes, perfectly fine. Then I will give you 3 important tips, both facing the showing the same number. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. It is 6 by 36. It is 1 by 6 is your direct answer. By just looking at the question, you can easily remember. Then product of 2 numbers is 12. Whenever the product of 2 numbers is 12, it is 4 by 36. Whenever product of 2 numbers is 12, it is 6 2s are 12. 3 4s are 12. 4 3s are 12. 2 6 are 12. So there is a probability of 2 numbers is 12. It is 4 by 36. When the probability of 2 numbers is 10, 2 5s are 10, 5 2s are 10. So it is 2 by 36. Like this, you can remember like this in our regular classes. Okay. This is also another series which is there for, especially for this dice problem. I'm due to insufficient of time, due to constraints of the time, I'm not going to explain too much on that. If you want, you can go and refer in Abhayasa series. I think so. We have covered that part. Okay, playing of cards. This playing of cards is divided into basically 2. One is black cards, red cards. Black cards is 26 cards, red card is 26 cards. I'm not going to cover a joker here. Okay, joker is omitted. Okay, 52 cards of black, 52 cards of red. This 52 cards of red, black is divided into 2. One is spade and one is club. This is called suit. Spade, suit, spade, club, diamond, heart is known as suit. That is spade and club. Spade 13 cards, club is 13 cards. Diamond is 13 cards, heart is 13 cards. Okay, number of cards is number of cards. Let's say it is having a 9 each of 4 cards. That is 1, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 9 cards of 36. Ace cards is 4. Picture cards or face cards is 12. Okay, 3 4s are 12. 3 picture cards, Jack, Queen, King. Okay, that is 12. So total 52 cards. Okay, what is an even? Set of all favorable outcomes is known as an even. Throwing a guy, getting a 4. Throwing a die, getting a 4. That is, throwing a die, getting a 4 is more than 4. That is 5 and 6. That is your outcome. That is your probability favorable outcome. That is favorable outcome divided by total outcome. That is 2 divided by 6. It is 1 by 3. What is probability? Very simple. Ratio of favorable outcome to possible outcome. Ratio of favorable outcome to possible outcome. That is number of favorable outcomes divided by number of possible outcome. That is what simple probability. Whenever you stuck across with Whenever you stuck across with probability, go with the basic favorable by possible. Favorable by possible. N of A divided by N of S. 0 less than P less than 1. Under probability, you will not get a negative value. Either you could get a value 0 or you will get a value 1, or in any between the value like 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Like this only you will get a value. You will never get a negative value. You will never get a more than one value. Okay. What is your type of event? Type of event is nothing but a simple event. What is a simple event? Throwing a one element, throwing a die, getting a number 4 and 6. It is not a simple event. Throwing a die, getting a number between 4 and 6. It is only one thing. That is one element. That is a simple event. What is an impossible event? Impossible event is nothing but throwing a die, getting more than 7, which does not contain any element. How you can throwing a die? This is only having 6. No, how you can get 7? So it is an impossible event. Under the impossible event, it is a null set. It is an empty set. So the number of favorable outcome is 0. At the time P of A is equal to 0. What is a sure event or a certain event? Throwing a getting a less than 7. Less than 7, all the numbers. So all the numbers you will get. Total sample space is 6. Total favorable outcome is also 6. 6 by 6 is equal to 1. So you will get a certain event that it's a sure event. The answer is 1. So whenever the possible outcome is equal to favorable outcome, the answer is going to be a sure event, that is 1. What is mutually exclusive event? This is an important thing. What is mutually exclusive event? Throwing a die. A I am getting 1, 2, 3, that is less than 4. Greater than 4 is 5 and 6. So A and B, there is no intersection point. There is no mutually exclusive event. Mutually exclusive means there is no intersection point. There is no common element between A set and the B set. At the time, we will say it is as a mutually exclusive event. A and B are called mutually exclusive event when P of A and P of A intersection B is equal to 0. Remember this, exclusive means intersection point. What is meant by exhaustive? Throwing a die, we are throwing a die, we will get 6 sample space. A number is less than 3, 1, 2, 3. A number greater than or equal to 3 is less than 3. The number greater than or equal to 3. That is mutually exhaustive. Mutually exhaustive means you will get A union B. Okay, you will get all the items. If you get all the items, sample space is also 6. Possible outcome is also 6. At the time, it is my answer is 1. At the time, it is mutually exhaustive event. Whenever 2 sets is there and there is a union point is there, and you will get an answer is 1, that is known as mutually exhaustive. Exclusive means 0, intersection. Exclusive, intersection, answer 0. Exhaustive, union, answer is 1. Okay, next step. Equally likely event. Number of elements of a favorable outcome are same. A 1, 3, 6, B 2, 3, 4. We will only take the equally likely event. The same numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, like this. 1, 2, 3. There's a 3. Number of elements in the favorable outcome are same. Number of elements is 3. B is number of elements is 3. Even if it is A is equal to 1, 3, 6. B is equal to ABC. It is also 3, 3. This is equally likely event. What is complementary event? Throwing a die, we'll get A odd numbers. A dash is nothing but even numbers. That even numbers is known as B. So probability P of A dash. P of A dash is equal to 1 minus P of A. P of A union A dash is equal to 1. P of A intersection A dash is equal to 0. Whenever intersection, at the time A and A dash is there, the answer is 0. Whenever union is there, think like an exhaustive series and put it as a 1. P of A plus P of A dash is equal to 1. These 4 things you should remember. Okay, if you want, you can take a screenshot. Next step. Under probability is further divided into 3 parts: statistical definition, classical definition, and asymptotic definition. Asymptotic definition is not there, but I will easily cover that part. Classical definition is P of A is equal to N of A divided by N of S. Here the trials are infinite, it will not be applied. When the statistical or empirical probability method, P of A is equal to limit n extends to infinity, m by n. M is a favorable outcome, n is a total number of outcomes. Where asymptotic is there, when you put it in sets, P of A is greater than or equal to 0. Remember this as a theory part, they may not try to test you. Here to remember addition theorem. What is an addition theorem? P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Okay, they may try to test you. When P of A intersection B is 0, that is what is meant by intersection is 0. That is mutually exclusive. Exclusive intersection is 0. Put 0. It means P of A plus B only. If you put 0 over here, it will remove. So P of A plus P of B, when there is a mutually exclusive. When A and B are mutually exclusive and mutually exhaustive, mutually exclusive, intersection will go on. What is mutually exhaustive? The answer is going to be 1. So final answer is P of A plus P of B is equal to 1. That's it. P of A dash is equal to 1 minus P of A already covered. P of A dash intersection B dash is equal to P of A union B whole dash. P of A union B whole dash, we will write it. Okay. And that we can easily write down as 1 minus P of A union B. That is known as De Morgan's law. The another form of De Morgan's law is P of A dash union B dash. It is nothing but P of A intersection B whole dash is equal to 1 minus P of A intersection B. Next one is P of A intersection P of A dash intersection P of A dash intersection B equal to P of B minus P of A intersection B. Whenever P of A intersection B dash, you will cover the without the dash part, that is P of A minus P of A intersection B. When P of A union B union C is there, P of A plus P of B plus P of C minus P of A intersection B minus B intersection C minus A intersection C plus P of A intersection B intersection C. Now the same condition I will give you. If that is a mutually exclusive, if it is mutually exclusive, all this will get answer is 0. Okay, if it is a mutually exhaustive, it is equal to 1. So P of A plus P of B plus P of C will equal to 1. Are you able to understood? There is a conditional probability. When P of A intersection B is there, P of A into P of B by A. What is P of B or P of A by A will be there. It is based on the multiplicative theorem we are going to see. If A and B are independent events, P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. When this is more crucial, when P is equal to at least 1, it is 1 minus P of none. 1 minus P of none. Next one. When P of A dash union B dash, it is P of A intersection B the whole dash, it is 1 minus P of A intersection B. When P of A union B, this we have already covered. I'm not going to cover it again. If A and B are, that's what I said, no? If A, B, and C are mutually exclusive as well as an exhaustive, P of A plus P of B plus P of C is equal to 1. Okay. When the multiplication theorem of probability exists, that's what we have already covered. P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B by A. That is what is meant by this. P of B by A means B given A. Or you can also go with that probability of B that A has already occurred. Probability of B that A has already occurred. That's what you put it in the denominator. Probability of B, you will put it in the numerator. P of A intersection B is equal to P of B into P of A by B. What is P of B by A? It is P of A intersection B divided by P of A. P of A. Remember this two formula, it may be helpful for you in a direct solving problem. P of B by A is equal to, you are having a denominator A, so P of B by A. So in the denominator also you will put P of A. Here in the numerator it remains same. P of in the A intersection B, A intersection B. What is P of A by B? P of A by B is equal to P of A intersection B divided by P of B. If A and B are independent, P of A union B is equal to P of A, P of B. If A is independent, remove the intersection point or remove the union point. You will write it. P at least 1 is equal to 1 minus P of none. That's what we have already covered. It's the most important whenever you come across with at least one part. Okay, now we'll cover the odds in favor and odds against problem. What is an odds in favor? Here, I am not covering that independent and dependent events. It is a slightly lengthier part as the time constraint is there. I will restrict myself to odds in favor and odds against. This is more important than independent and independent events. It is quickly you can do it. Odds in favor and odds in against. Odds you will divide into basically two. Favors against. What is meant by odds favor? Odds in favor is defined as the ratio of favorable to unfavorable. Favorable to unfavorable. Throwing a die, getting exactly less than or equal to 2. That is 1,2. Probability of throwing a die, getting greater than or equal to 3. That is 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 2:4. That is 1:2. So here we will say A is a favorable, B. It is your favorable, it is your unfavorable. So odds in favor is equal to A is to B. What is P of A? P of A is equal to A divided by A plus B. What is P of A dash? B divided by A plus B. Remember this. P of A is equal to favorable to unfavorable. That's what the thing is. Favorable to unfavorable. What is the favorable here? A divided by A plus B. That is 1 divided by 1 plus 2. That is 3. Or what's A dash? 2 divided by 1 plus 3. It's very simple. 1 by 3 is the answer of P of A. What is your P of A dash? It should be 1 minus 1 by 3. What is 1 minus 1 by 3? 3 minus 1 divided by 3. That is 2 by 3. Now you can simply say, it is simply I can put B divided by A plus B. That's it. Now come to the interesting part of odds against. What is odds against? Odds against is defined as the ratio of unfavorable to favorable. Here remember, I will slightly change it. Odds in favor is A is to B. Here A is favorable, B is unfavorable. Here also, even odds against also, I will keep A as favorable, B is unfavorable, B is unfavorable. But odds against, I will interchange to B is to A. It is not A is to B, it is B is to A. If it is favorable, it is A is to B. If it is unfavorable or it is an odds against, it is B is to A. So P of A remains A divided by A plus B. P of A dash is equal to B divided by A plus B. That's it. Suppose they have given in a form of equation. This, I think so, this question also we have covered under the probability series of odds against in Abhayasa series of 20 sets of videos we have uploaded. Kindly refer that. You have good in-depth knowledge about this part. In the given equation, they say odds against is 3:2. Then I will consider this as B. I will consider this as A. And then I find my equation of P of A is equal to 2 divided by 5. Then P of A dash is equal to 3 divided by 5. Anyhow, it will become unfavorable for me. Okay. Whenever they given odds favors is 2:3. At the time I will consider this is A, this is B. Whenever it is odds against, this is B and this one is A. First one is B and next one is A if it is an odd against. Okay. Then come to final conclusion of the statistics, and one more thing, time value of money. We are done with that part. Random variable. Random variables is a chance of variables. Variables whose value is determined by the outcome of random experiment is known as random variable. While tossing a coin, this is what I already tell. That is a success and not getting a head is 0. 2 coins are tossed. HHT, TT, HT, HT. The probability of success, probability of failure is there. So this tossing a coin, causing a 2 coin problem, this everything we are covered in an Abhayasa series. Go and refer that part. We are separately doing that 5 videos, 5 questions for random variable. That most important, we have done it. Okay, remember that part. Okay, now come to the probability distribution function. P of x is equal to greater than or equal to 0. F of is greater than or equal to 0. It is divided into 2. Discrete, no decimals. Continuous, minus infinity to plus infinity. If it is a discrete, there should be no decimal. When the random variable is a whole number, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, we will say it is a probability mass function. The probability mass function means summation P of x is equal to 1. Summation F of x is equal to 1. Continuous means minus infinity to plus infinity. Any real numbers between minus infinity to plus infinity will come under continuous data. It is known as probability density function. It is nothing but integral of plus infinity to minus infinity into f of x into d of x is equal to 1. Next, this is the most important under the random variable. Remember this. I'm going very much slower. Mathematical expression, mathematical expectation, or it is known as expected values, or it is a mean. For that, x bar is equal to, here it is a mathematical expression is denoted by E of x. E of x is nothing but summation x into P of x. P of x is nothing but a probability of x. E of x square is equal to summation x square minus P of x. What is a variance? Variance is nothing but summation x square minus summation x the whole square. These two values needs to be there. Okay, then standard deviation is equal to root of variance. I'll give you a trick. If n coins are tossed, E of x is equal to n by 2. If n coins are tossed, variance is equal to n by 4. If n coins are tossed, mean is n by 2. If it is a variance, it is n by 4. That is an expected value is n by 2. Variance is n by 4. To remember, what is under the expected values, you need to remember. E of x is equal to x bar. X bar can be positive. It can be unfavorable and it is a small size. If it is a negative, it is favorable and it will be in large size. If it is a 0, E of x is equal to 0, we will say it is a favorable. E of x is equal to 0, we will say it is a favorable. E of C means C is a constant. We will get C only. Expected mean of any constant. E of phi is equal to 5. That's what we will get it. E of x plus y, x plus or minus y is equal to E of x plus or minus E of y. Next one, E constant of E C of x is equal to C E of x. That is E phi of x. I can write it as phi E of x. I can write it. E of A plus or minus B of x is equal to A plus or minus B into E of x. That's what the same concept what we have applied. We are doing it. E of x is equal to 3. E of 2 minus phi x. This problem may be tested for you. Okay, E of 2 we will write it because it is a constant is given. Constant we will write it. Phi x is given. We will write it as E into phi of x is given. So phi into E of x I will write it. Phi into E of x. E of x value is 3. So we will substitute 3. 3 5s are 15. 2 minus 15 is equal to minus 13. In random variable, you may get a negative value, but in probability, you will not get a negative value. Okay. This is like an arithmetic mean. We know summation x minus x bar is equal to 0. The same thing. Instead of summation, we will put an expected mean, even though it is also an expected mean only. Mathematical expectation. Then for remembrance, what you need to remember, it is not at all affected by shift of origin. First remember that V is equal to summation E into x minus x bar the square. That's what we already covered in arithmetic mean square also. Equal to E into x square minus summation x Ex of the whole square. Variance of constant is 0. Expected mean of constant is constant. Variance of constant is 0. Variance of Ax is equal to A square into variance of x. Here, in that part, E of phi x is equal to phi E of x. Here, V of phi of x is equal to phi square into V of x. That is 25 into V of x. Here, x bar is equal to mu. Okay, variance of 3, variance of 5x, it is 25 into variance of x, it is become 75. Now, variance of this we have already covered. Variance of a plus bx is equal to b square into variance of x. Because here the variance constant will become 0. So it is b square into variance of x. We will apply this trick. Okay, variance of ax plus by is equal to a square into variance of x plus b square into variance of x, because everything will constrain that before the constant along with the variable. If only have a constant is 0, constant with a variable will become a square for me. Okay, then probability space. What is the meaning of probability space? P of x is equal to 1 plus P of c is equal to 0. If you add all this, 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 0, so it will become 1. So probability of space is equal to P of summation P of x is equal to 1. So now come to this sampling part. So for throwing a die, throwing a single die, interesting part, I'm going to conclude with this part for statistics. Throwing a die, getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is given. Probability of getting only 1, 1 by 6. Probability of getting 1 by 2, 1 by 6, 3, 1 by 6, 4, 1 by 6, 5, 1 by 6, 6, 1 by 6. That's what you will get. What is E of x? What is E of x formula? Give me, what is my E of x formula? We will go and check. What is E of x? E of x is nothing but your x bar, right? What do you need to do for x bar? For x bar, you need to find all the values, right? You will need to add what you need to do, x into p of x. E of x formula is nothing but x into p of x. What is x into p of 1 into 1 by 6, 2 into 1 by 6, 3 into 1 by 6, 4 into 1 by 6, 5 into 1 by 6, 6 into 1 by 6. You will get 6 by 6, 6 by 6. If you add everything, 21 by 6. You will get 7 by 2. If you will get answer is 3.5. So from this, what we are trying to conclude is by throwing a 2 die, our E of x is 3.5. What if throwing a 3 die? 3 into 3.5. What if it's throwing a 4 die? 4 into 3.5. Because the 1 die sample space is going to be a mean for all the things for 3, 4, 5 and all. We'll just simply multiply. Okay, throwing a single die, getting 3.5. Throwing 2 dice, 2 into 3.5, 7. Throwing a 3 dice, 3 into 3.5, 10.5. This we will do. Okay, and throwing n dice. Trying to conclude is n into 3.5 is one option, or 7 by 2 of n. That's what we have done. 7 by 2 of n or 3.5 of n. That's what throwing a die. Then, as I given a word, we are going to do a time value of money, or I will say it is a time value of money. Currently, this chapter has been named as a mathematics for finance. We're trying to conclude in another 10 minutes. Give you 10 minutes to ensure 14 marks. Okay, time value of money, or this is called mathematics for finance. It's divided into basically two. One is an interest part, one is an annuity part. If it is an interest part, it is simple interest, compound interest, and effective rate of interest. If it is an annuity part, it is present value and future value. If it is a simple interest, it is PRT by 100 or PNR by 100 or PNI. Here I is equal to R by 100. Here I is equal to capital R by 100, where capital R is equal to 10. Where capital R is equal to 10. How you can find I is equal to 10 by 100. So I is equal to 0.01. Sorry, 0.1. I is equal to 0.1. So A is equal to P plus I. What is I? I is equal to P and I. If you take common P is outside, A is nothing but your amount. Amount is inclusive of interest plus principal. So P is equal to 1 plus NI. Our students, without formula, you can do. For time value of money or mathematics for finance, I uploaded 2 basic parts covering simple interest in a separate video itself. It is covered somewhere around 1 hour. Just watch it quickly. 1.5 views, 1.5x speed, you can watch it. Or else that's 2. We have covered it. And in tips and tricks, we have solved some sums related to time value of money. Just refer the calculated tricks for compound interest, simple interest, and all. Within 1 step, you can get the answer. Our students will very know. For others, those who are subscribing to our YouTube channel, I am telling about that part. Now, notes. Sum of the money doubles itself. You will go with 100 by RS. Sum of money triples itself. It is 200 by RS. It is sum of money n times itself. It is n minus 1 divided n minus 1 into R divided by n. If it is a 10 times, it is 900 by R. That's it. Okay, principal remains same, interest going on same, change for every year. Here, principal is going to be constant. Here, compound interest. Compound interest means number of times interest is calculated. That is, here the n cap power n is equal to number of times the interest is going to be calculated. Principal is going to be changed for every year. It adds on interest on interest, interest on interest to it part. So compound interest is equal to A minus P. Compound interest is equal to P into 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. This is a formula. If you remember this, you can easily get it, or you can go with the calculated tricks. Sum of money amount doubles itself with 72 by R. You may get an answer. To get an exact answer, go with this. Sum of money doubles for compound interest problem. For compound interest problem, it is 69 by R plus 0.35 years. 69 by R plus 0.35x. If amount triples itself, it is 114 by R. If it is 4 times, 5 times, and all, they may not try to dispute. They will stick with doubles and triples. Okay, this is not going to be a engineering mathematics and all. It is a very simple mathematics, but this chapter is going to be very crucial. This chapter will come till your final and all. So read this. Okay, half yearly. Whenever the compound interest is based on half yearly, quarterly, monthly. If it is based on half yearly, rate of interest should be divided by 2, number of years should be multiplied by 3. If it is based on quarterly, if the rate of years should be divided by 4 and number of years should be multiplied by 4. If it is based on monthly, rate of interest should be divided by 12 and number of years should be divided by 2, multiplied by 12. But they may try to test you. Worst scenario case, number of days divided by 365, number of years into 365. Okay, relationship between SI and CA. This is most important, crucial. You may guaranteed 1 mark is there. Relationship between 1 year, SI, compound interest minus simple interest. Both things equal. So there is no difference for first year. Okay, for the second year, PI square. Principal into PI square. For third year, PI square into I plus Q. PI square into I plus 3 for 3 years. If it is for fourth year, fifth year, you need to calculate separately for fourth year. You need to calculate separately for simple interest for fourth year and then subtract it, you will get the answer. For this 3, we are having PI square into I plus 3. Okay, what is meant by depreciation? Depreciation, I already uploaded many calculator tricks. If you want, you can refer that. Or else what you need to do, just simply take a calculator. From that, you will keep on pressing minus 10, minus 10%, minus 10% till that value, which is return on value, which they are trying to give you, you can get the answer. Here, the amount is always less than or equal to principal. Amount is equal to P into 1 minus I whole power n. When they ask you try to define depreciation for 30 years and all, go with the formula, that is easy. When they are trying to justify for depreciation for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, go with the calculator trick, that is very easy. What is the present value? Very simple. What is the present value? P is equal to A divided by 1 plus I whole power n. What is the compound interest and all? Very simple. Compound interest. What is the compound interest of the future I am finding? Now what is the present? For future I am just multiplying. For the present I am going to divide it. That's it. P is equal to A divided by 1 plus I whole power n. What is the future value? Future value is of the compound interest is equal to A equal to P of 1 plus I whole power n. This is nothing but your compound interest. That's it. Principal plus compound interest. That's it. Next, calculate tricks. What is to find out a compound interest? Principal plus rate of interest minus principal. You will get a compound interest. What is the depreciation? Principal minus rate percentage into number of times given. There is 5 times 10 years is given. Keep on pressing up to minus 10%, minus 10%, minus 10% to get the answer without any formula. Okay, what is effective rate of interest? Most important, the one question is guaranteed from this effective rate of interest. Our students will very well know independent of principal, as it is an independent of principal. When effective rate of is calculated, when the interest is calculated more than 1 year. When the interest is calculated once in a year, more than once in a year, that's a yearly, not installment, monthly installment, quarterly installment, semi-annually, or like this, daily interest like this, then the effective rate of interest will apply. There's a slight interest increase in that part. What you need to do, actual formula is E is equal to 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. E plus I whole power n minus 1. If it is a calculator trick, what is a calculator trick? Assume 100, take a principal as 100, or you take a principal anything, but I will simply take principal as 100. Keep on adding interest for how many times they will ask you. Okay, finally minus with the principal, you will get exactly the value, the book method. I think this sum I have already covered in tips and tricks. Okay, in that we have uploaded 2 series, tips and tricks and Abhayasa series. In the tips and tricks I have uploaded, I think in 7th or 8th, but in the title itself in the corner, you will get it under the head of my name, you will get it. Okay, then come to annuity part. What is my annuity part? Equal amount paid in equal installments. That's what annuity means. Equal amount paid in equal intervals or equal installments is known as an annuity. Annuity is based on the transaction type. Based on the transaction types, it is divided into 2. One is an investment, one is a borrowing. What is an investment? Investment means I am depositing today. What is my future? If it is an investment type, that is means future value. Borrowing means I am getting my money today, but I will give you on the day one, month on month, or year on year, like that. So it is a present value. That is, if it is an investment, if it is a future value, it is a deposit. If it is a borrowing, if it is a present value, it is a loan. Now, based on an annuity, it is an end period. It is on the regular. Because I am starting today, I am going to start by today. It is a beginning. That is known as immediate. What is I remember? First thing, identify the type of transaction. If it is an investment, it is a find future value. If it is an investment, find future value. Because investing I am today, but I am getting my money back. So finding the future value. If it is a borrowing, find the present value. Okay. Then identify the type of annuity. First, whether it is a beginning or end of the period. If it is a beginning, use immediate annuity. What is end of the period? Use regular annuity. I will give you a formula. Nothing is mentioned. You will assume regular. It is an end of the period. Okay. Type of compound interest. What is the type of compound interest? Formula, future value. For the purpose of finding out of investment. It is also useful for sinking fund. All the sinking fund will be based on future value. That is future value is equal to A divided by I into 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. That is for regular. What is for immediate? A by I into 1 plus I whole power n minus 1 into 1 plus I. That is starting today, no? That I will add it. That I will multiply it. That I will become immediate. What is the present value? Present value if there is a borrowing kind of problem. Cash down price, purchasing, leasing, this and all comes under the applications of the time value of money. For that, I have already uploaded some video. Go and refer that. Okay, present value is equal to A divided by I into 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus I whole power n. That is for regular, which is starting today, which is an immediate. Just simply multiply by 1 plus I. A divided by I into 1 minus 1 by 1 plus I whole power n into 1 plus I immediate. What is it mean by perpetuity? Perpetuity is nothing but when number of years I am not at all going to define. Okay, V is equal to A plus I. When the number of years is not given, it is V is equal to A plus I. That is annuity divided by interest. What is the growth rate? Growth rate if the discount is given. B is equal to R divided by I minus G. Rate of interest divided by I minus G. Growth rate is given. If discount is given, R divided by I minus G. Okay, that's it. We have end up with this formula revision of a rapid revision. Here at some point of time, I may go faster, or if you feel if I went for faster, come again and repeat the watch video at a lesser the speed. All the best for your examination. Do your exams really well tomorrow. If you help this video is helpful, just comment below and do like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the best. Signing off of Sudarshan. Thank you once again. All the best. All the best. You can do it. Okay. Bye guys.